We had a whole bunch of bank earnings out, all coming in lower than expected for the most part. We have crude oil prices touching 18-year lows this morning. A lot of the energy names under pressure as a result, dragging the entire market down. Obviously, big move to the upside over the past couple of days for U.S. markets, so a little bit of a pullback might be in order. On the data front this morning, U.S. retail sales for March came in down, obviously, but only 8.7%, which was a little bit surprising, a little bit better than expected. A lot of people were mentioning retail sales for March could come in the double-digit % decline category. We're also going to get a Bank of Canada interest rate decision coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. So if you are the type of trader that trades the Canadian markets, maybe even the Canadian banks, we'll have that for you at 10 o'clock. A busy morning ahead, lots to get to this morning. It's Wednesday, April 15th. tradertv.live. And there we go. Look at North American stock futures. Yeah, very negative right across the board. We're getting worse as we speak. 2.8% now for the S&P 500. We have the Dow about 2.5%. NASDAQ just about that 2% area as well. The TSX futures here in Toronto, 2+% to the downside. Brazil is open already, 2.25% to the downside. Look at that. Crude oil off the lows, but 1.7%. in negative territory. Briefly touched, as I mentioned there earlier this morning, an 18-year low for crude oil prices. Gold also to the downside this morning. Lots to get to this morning. Neil is off today, but Sean and I are here. We're going to hold down the fort. Valeria is with us as well. We'll say hello to her in a few moments. I mean, Sean, we're 2-3 days to the upside. Obviously due for a little bit of a pullback, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this market, Brendan, is that it's still a sad state of affairs. Obviously, in the U.S., it is the largest country now hit by the coronavirus. So it kind of is sad when you think about all the jobs that are being lost. We got a horrible number today. We saw they lost 16 million jobs in the first quarter there. With that last report coming out, it's going to be even worse coming up with their next report this week. So, yeah, look, it's been a bad situation, and the market to rally the way it has, obviously, is nice for those of us, that are traders and that are long-term holders or even short-term holders, but still a little bit of a sad state of affairs here in the U.S. and in Canada and across the world, and our hopes and prayers are out there for everybody who is sick. But it seems like hopefully there is some bright spots here. There's some nice shoots here growing, and that includes Amazon and Walmart, both at 52-week highs. What it doesn't include is some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. Banks. The banking sector, guys, have just been beaten up in the last couple of days here with the first out the gate to report here. We saw what JPM did yesterday. I got smoked trying to go for that long in the morning before it just ticked all the way down. And I'm hoping today we'll learn our lesson with Goldman Sachs as they come out and report a similar story there as JP Morgan, and then down today 3.7%, and hopefully not going to trick me on what we're going to do with that. But Goldman, Bank of America, Citigroup, all going to be on board here with their reports, and all of them heading southbound right now, similar to what we saw yesterday with JPM and WFC. So look, it's going to be a fun day. We have a busy board for us. Oh, and soon to come, I see a lot of you guys getting amped up here, and that was a good word. I forget who said that. Getting amped. This music's getting me amped. But we are going to have a watch list soon. So as soon as that starts coming through, we'll be sending out a link to all of our guys out there, all the traders out there, any of our viewers that will have notes on what we're looking at, some maybe possibly some key levels. We're going to find out what we're going to do with that, but that watch list should be good. We have one right now and ready to go, Brendan. So why don't we start with a few of these names? Yeah, lots to get into this morning as far as individual names moving. Obviously, earnings. We have airlines all higher right across the board with some money possibly coming from the government for U.S. airlines. But before we do that, let's get over and say good morning to Valeria.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe channel. Also, guys, let's keep the chat active. Leave comments, share your trades, and of course, ask questions. As usual, I'll be picking up any question I like and ask to guys directly, so you can receive more detailed answer. And yes, let's have a great day. Back to traders. I see you later.
All right, let's get into some of the things moving around in the pre-market here. I want to start with Goldman Sachs. Obviously, we had Goldman, Bank of America, and Citigroup all reporting earnings. Goldman reporting quarterly earnings of $3.11 per share. That missed estimates of $3.35. Revenue, however, did slightly exceed expectations. They increased their reverse for credit losses to $937 million. That compared to obviously $224 million a year ago. I think a lot of people were expecting that number to be significantly higher regardless. What do we think here, Sean? I mean, 3.5% to the downside. We're back below, it looks like, that low that we put in yesterday, late in the day.
And yesterday's low. Yeah, so yesterday, we are way below that one. 174.50, that's what we were looking at earlier on, and good point there. Brendan, we were looking at this chart, and 174.50. Let's see if we can't blow it up a little bit. This is kind of a nice little key spot here. I'm going to be short. I'm not going to be going long anything here. You're going to see what the futures are doing. You guys already know that. We're almost down 3%. I'm going to use this as maybe a kill spot if my shorts don't work out. That's 174.50. That'll be a spot to reverse it long if you are going to be short with me, hopefully. And down here, look, it's looking... It hasn't moved too much. I mean, $175 name down $3 here in the pre-market isn't huge, but look where it bounced off of 171. So I like Goldman Sachs breaking through 171. However, right now that's probably going to happen before the market opens. So let's just wait to see on that one. I did want to call up a daily chart though to give you guys another little bit of an example here on what we're talking about for a longer term time frame. Here, right here, guys, back March 9th, March 10th, March 11th. We had a problem with 170. So that's 170 right on the knot there. It had a problem. It broke it down, bounced back up, opened, closed at 184 that day, then opened that day at 184 again, and stopped the movement at 170 before opening the next day down here at 161. So it needs to get through this 170 level. That's going to be, I'll put on risk at that level for sure, 100%. We're going to let it open up and see what we're doing on the open. But I did want to also, I know we're going to talk about Bank of America next, but this is something that a lot of you traders are interested in based on some of your feedback. This is the market on open. So when you see mock orders going through, it's mock is MOC, stands for market on close. These are MOOs, so market on open. Market on close is a very, very popular topic because it ends up the day, but sometimes these market on open orders can really, really influence what a stock is doing. And today, thank God, I only see BAC on here, and it's only 363,000 shares. So it's not a huge impact rate here for Bank of America. You have JCPenney up there. Maybe we'll talk about that later, 1.2 million. Delta's always there. And look what's at the top. We have Weedman's going to be in the building today because Afria with a big blowout quarter. It wasn't huge, but the numbers are what they are. It's going to be up 16%. We'll get to that story soon. They beat on revenues, and I told you that more people would be probably enjoying some of this good stuff here as we go. Oh, right on my face. There's a blow it up. There we go. We're going to be enjoying some of that as they are in isolation now. So I do think that marijuana maybe found a bottom in some of these markets. But again, with the dried up capital markets, it's going to be hard to get some infusion into these stocks. But Afria has it today, Brendan.
It's interesting to note on that, Sean. If you're going to pick one cannabis company to be the first one to actually make some money, I don't think it would be Afria. But here we are. So yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. Let's jump into Bank of America here. They reported weaker than expected earnings, sending their stock down significantly both aftermarket and in the pre-market this morning. They said first quarter profit fell 45%. Loan losses reversed, grew by $3.6 billion. Obviously due to the coronavirus as well. So, I mean, these charts look very similar. I think this is going to be the tale of the day as far as the market goes, what these banks end up doing. 4.5%, almost 5% now for BAC, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had a few more levels here. Let's break this down maybe to a 15-minute chart or so and go back as far as we can. We'll let this thing load. Bank of America, we know, I mean, this was a great recovery story down here. This is early April that we were making bottoms, 2050, 21, and then down to 1950 was basically the bottom here in early April. And look, are we going to get to $19 today? No. We're only at $22.50 right now. This is kind of all bunched up here. This high back on looks like April 7th or April 8th last week, it looks like 22.80. We had a problem with 22.80 there. So let's just call it 23. So we're already below $23. So for me, again, we have an upside target here of about 23. So that's where we can hope that this stock can go to. And 22, look at a bunch of different bounce opportunities here at $22 back again in the first week of April. So you do get some bouncing movements off of $22 and 23. So right now, it looks like we're going to open up in that range. If we zoom just to a little bit closer today, you're just seeing negative. I mean, we, like Brendan said there, you get that movement from yesterday. We close right around here, 23.75. You're going to open up about $1, which is 4% down, 5% down. The market is not looking nice today. This is the S&P 500. And we're going to punch that one out because it's been a great market. But today, you're seeing down 3% off of a big, huge run yesterday. NASDAQ up 4% yesterday. ES up 3.5%. So giving some of that back, we're at 27.63. I mean, look, the banks, I'm going to be short until we get a break of some of those levels. So it's going to have to be 23.50, 23 or 23, let's call it, on BAC, and then Goldman Sachs, that 174.50 level. Other than that, we're going to just keep trying to pound it to the short side, and I like BAC through 22.
Yeah, more to go here. Citigroup, the next one, guys. They reported first quarter earnings as well. Not good on the per share side, $1.05 per share versus $1.87 expected. But revenue, $20.7 billion. That was actually up 12% year over year. That loan loss number, though, that's been creeping into most of these, up $4.9 billion. A lot of people obviously defaulting on loans. So Citigroup here, Sean, 3% for this one. We're back to, looks like around this 44 area. I mean, obviously gapping down with the market as well. However, we pointed out that low from yesterday on Goldman. This one kind of holding that at this point for support.
Yeah, and Citigroup actually, despite being down 3.5%, might be, Brendan, one of the stronger ones here because it's made a little bit of a move back up. So we did touch down as low as 43 and change down here. 43.25 was basically the low on this one. And if you look at the daily chart, it doesn't look, I mean, a lot of these stocks have fallen down. We see, okay, don't tell me this daily chart's not working. Oh, God. Okay, Citigroup right here, 43.75. We'll get the daily chart back up in a second. We'll break it down from yesterday. Here's that epic fall that we're talking about, and I want to thank JP Morgan. I also lost on Citigroup yesterday trying to catch a falling knife, but look at this on the open. $48 we were yesterday. We're going to open up around 44. We dropped all the way yesterday, and look at this bottom, Brendan. 43.60 right here as a bottom, and then if you zoom into today, and we talk about that 43.60 level, that's sort of what we're bouncing off of right now. So I like it. I like Citigroup for possibly a long. Use that 43.60. That was yesterday's bottom down. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can zoom back out here again. This 43.60 was up here yesterday, and we're going to use that bottom as a possible resistance point today and think about going long off of that. But right now, $44. We're down 3% because we did have that rally back in the afternoon. Realistically, Citigroup does deserve to be down here. So if you're saying it was 43.50, you get a rally back yesterday, then nothing changes in the financial realm, and then we're right back to this level again. I like a 43.60 break. We'll use that to go short, but again, it was still 15 minutes to go here. We could break through 43.60 right now, and then we have to use this bottom here, 43.25.
Lots more to get to here. United Health, the next one I want to talk about, also an earnings play. We also have the airlines to get through this morning as well. They're all higher in the pre-market after looks like the U.S. government and some of the airlines came to an agreement on how they're going to get some aid funding to them. First, let's go over and check in with Valeria.
Hey guys, just around 15 minutes left until the opening bell, and I wish you a great trading day, and hopefully we'll make your day better. Please write your questions. I remind you, I'll pick one question each hour to ask directly to traders. And guys, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. If you're watching us from Facebook, like and share our video. And also guys, if you're looking for a more active chat, join us on YouTube. I'll send you the link on the Facebook chat. I'll see you later.
Great stuff, yeah. Ask lots of questions. We'll get to as many as we can. Coming up this morning, we're going to talk about United Health here, but coming up this morning, we have a very special guest at 11:15. Adam Halpern is going to swing by from Halpern Wines. They're doing some great work as far as the charitable aspect goes with United Health Network here in Toronto. A lot of frontline workers obviously needing a lot of personal protection equipment that is also running low in the GTA. So we'll talk to Adam coming up at 11:15. We're also going to talk about maybe investing in wine and some possibilities for looking at wine as an asset class. So really excited to talk to Adam coming up at 11:15 this morning. Let's talk about United Health Group here. UNH reporting earnings as well. They reported 9 cents per share of adjusted quarterly profit. They beat by 9 cents per share. Quarterly profit of $3.72 per share. Revenue also above estimates. The company also, Sean, maintained their outlook for the current quarter and rest of the year. So, I mean, we were up nicely on UNH, but the market obviously dragging this one to the downside a little.
Yeah, it's only. So the thing about this is, guys, it's only 68,000 shares, so it's not a huge spot for them today. But yeah, nice to see them up here, 273. Look, $3 on a $270 name is not huge, but you do have 277 here as a top. We'll look to break that out, and I did get the daily charts up and working here. So as you're going to be able to see here, UNH, I mean, just an amazing. This is when, well, obviously the thing about Bernie Sanders obviously affecting UNH here as well. When he's dropping out, that definitely helping out some of the movements here for United Health, right back to the upside. But we did see a low less than about 3 weeks ago, 190. So if you were long in this time frame, good on you right there. But a great little winner here. Look, 277, that's what we're topping out at. We hit that spot in here, in this little area here at late March, early March here. We were bouncing around 277, 275. That seemed to be a pretty key area. This is not super exciting to me right now, 68,000 shares. The spread is $1 right now on this name, so I'm not overly in love with anything UNH, especially when we have the banks and then we have the weed companies that are going to be on spotlight as well. So Brendan, to be honest with you, I don't have much of an opinion on UNH. We'll see if it moves as the day goes, but it has a big spread. It's not doing many shares, and it's not a stock that I'm very familiar with, to be honest with you.
All right, we'll shift over to some of the airlines moving higher as a group. Wow, just looking at AAL here, 6 million shares in the pre-market for AAL. We have United, we have American, we have Delta, Southwest, JetBlue. Basically the entire group higher this morning. The Trump administration struck an agreement in principle, they're calling it, with some of the leaders of these companies for some aid as far as financing goes. So a lot of these, Sean, looking pretty strong so far, even with the market kind of dragging back to the downside. I mean, this is a lot of volume for AAL at this time of day.
Yeah, just looking at some longer time frames here, and yeah, I don't really. I mean, it's stuck. It's still stuck. I mean, like this is AAL here. I was looking at yesterday. This is $12 yesterday. You know, we tanked. We tanked off the open a little bit. We did a nice move up, but then gave it all back. This is when the market was having a problem recovering there. But this is 12, man. 12, 12, 12, 12. All of these spots here, $12 even. So when you open up today, and we closed yesterday at 12, so we closed yesterday at 12.03, a little bumpy here. Then you get that announcement all the way up to 13 and change. Now we're faded back in. If we actually zoom this in here, 12.20 was this bottom. I don't mind that at all going short here. It's been pulling back down. Look at the market, still down that almost 3%. I don't want to go long AAL, but we do have VWAP up here at 1265, and there is a little bit of a top here at 1270. So you have a hard time 1275 right there, 1265 here, 1270. So there's about a dime worth of area of room here that we could work with if it ever gets there. Plus plus. That's where VWAP is. So there is a chance here that some of the hedge funds and the big guys here want to get this stock back up and through this VWAP back to 13, where we sort of bounced around yesterday evening and this morning before coming back through that number and coming down. So I like AAL back above 1270. I don't know if I'll touch it until we get to 1270 or a smash of this 1220, which is the pre-market low.
Not as big of a gainer in the pre-market here, but I think Delta worth having a look at as well. We just came back into $25 on DAL. Was a little bit of resistance yesterday, both in the morning and kind of throughout the midday. What do we think here, Sean? Obviously a little bit less. We saw AAL up more than 3%. Delta here just bouncing off 25 even.
Yeah, Delta hasn't really, some of these stocks, although it seems like they've recovered, they haven't really. I mean, Delta's low was only $20. Now you're at 25, and you're right. Look at the volume, 3.7 million shares. Wow. So a nice little volume spike here for Delta today. They get that same movement back up, and it's going to look very similar, guys. We base out here yesterday at 25 bucks. That's where the base was, and that seems to be where the bottom wants to be right now. So $25, it looks like it's going to smash that right here. I hope this opens up around 25, and we'll hit it to the short side. There's not much else happening, to be honest with you. If we call up a daily chart here, this is what I mean. It's a huge recovery back. I mean, we get as high as 36 there on March 20th before falling all the way back down to this level again, 22. So we've bounced off 22 a couple times. We tried to get up there. These highs, 25.91, 25.50, 25.70. Yesterday, 26.60. So today we're back at this 25 level. Is there a movement to the downside? It doesn't look like 25's been really a spot to worry about. We're just worried about it from yesterday. So I think Delta to the downside, I do like that one. I think that's going to be an early trade for me. I did note before they were on the imbalance locator, and look at this, guys. It was number one there as I scroll down. Right here, it is right here. I'll highlight it. 566,000 shares to buy. So that's not bad. That's like 20% of what they're looking at right now on the imbalance locator. So you have a little bit of room here to go to the upside. I think we probably spike to about 25.50. I'd love to take a short if we can get that right around here, 25.60 or so. And then the same story remains true, Brendan. If we could break above 25.70, let's go long. Otherwise, we'll smash 25 to the short side.
I want to make sure we get to Afria. Keep seeing it there on the imbalance locator, still on the buy side. JCP at the top of that list as well. They are rumored to be filing for bankruptcy, so a little teeny tiny 20-cent stock, but everybody knew that was coming. Hard to ignore Tesla here again today. Another 4% move to the upside overnight. Goldman Sachs with the upgrade on Tesla today to buy. I mean, we saw this thing really, really strong in the first half an hour of the day yesterday. Didn't really do much throughout the day, but look at this again today, Sean. Tesla gapping even higher.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know a note here. Tesla 738 and change. Yeah. Wowzers. So we hammered Tesla. Those of you that were with us, I'm going to hit this. What's one of my favorite stock logos here. So we'll light up the screen with some Tesla action here. Yeah, Tesla yesterday, guys. We were crazy on this one the last couple days. Look at these movements off the open here. This is yesterday, man. We opened up 698. We took this 700 long. Look where it goes to 715, 716 before stalling, all the way up here to 740 yesterday. Look what we topped out in this morning, 761. I mean, like, people are excited about Tesla again, guys. So should we. If you take out this top, which seems a little ridiculous, it's $10 away, but it's not. You could take this out, 750 to the top side. If you take the bottom, which is looking more likely, 733.50. I hate standing in front of a train, and Tesla definitely is one of those. And we'll look at a daily chart in the first bit. But look at yesterday, guys. We did have some trouble here. This is why we zoom these out. We did have some trouble here right at these spots. And look, you have to give it a little bit of range. We go all the way up to 739. But we topped out a couple times, failed here, 732, failed here, 735, failed there again, 736, before ultimately failing at 738 and then closing the day down here at 711. So yeah, we're bouncing off those numbers again. So let's play a 733.50 break, and then you can use as a top side, 737. You got to give yourself a little bit of room here. I'd say $3, $4, $5 worth of room if you're going to go short, but the short looks like the right play. There's momentum coming in, but I keep saying, let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart of Tesla is one of the ultimate V-shaped recoveries right here. You tank from 950. Look, everybody knew Tesla was way blown out here. I mean, this move all the way up was ridiculous. Then you get a base down here. What a surprise, right at this 340 area, right where all this happened back in November. Now you run up to 733 again, and you know what? There isn't much here. I mean, it's been straight line up, $200. So is Tesla due for a pullback? I'd say yes, and this 719, like we talked about yesterday, not a bad opportunity to get back to there today. So 733 now, I think you have a little bit of room to go down. Look, we're going to break, it looks like, guys, 733.50 even before the market opens. We only have 5 minutes now.
All right, let's get on to Afria here. We'll go over to Cannabis World. Afria solidly higher, and I mean 18% to the upside in the pre-market after reporting quarterly profit of 1 cent per share on revenue of 144 million. That was versus estimates of 129 million. So solidly higher on the revenue side. The per share was basically in line with expectations. But I mean, as far as cannabis goes, I think any signs of positivity are going to be treated as very positive. So nice look here, Sean, for Afria. 18% move here.
Yeah, it's an 18% move. I just put an order in to get long at 450 here because right now it's not Canopy. I have a Canopy thing here, but we'll just hit this is one of my favorite ones. This and Valeria Batman. There we go. Weed Batman. So yeah, Afria right now. Look, the high is 1450. I love that. I love that it's 1450. I love trading off even pennies there. And again, I apologize, guys. I'm not going to be Brendan, Neil's in on the chat, and Valeria's on the chat as well. I can't look at it right now, but $4.50 to the top side. I love that for Afria. The bottom's only 415. Higher net revenue, I believe it was, Brendan, if I'm not correct there. Let me just read this over again. 1 cent per share, so they make a profit, so that's a nice spot there. And right there it is, 144 million versus 129. So they're selling more of the wacky tobacco here, and it looks like that's going to be a good note for them. People looking to get long, they want to put their money somewhere. Look at Afria. Again, Tesla, talk about that recovery. Afria's doubled, guys, since March 18th. Today, let me check my watch. April 15th, or is it April 16th? What is my watch saying here? April 15th, and you have doubled in a month. So Afria more than doubling in a month, up to 450 today. But look, here's that 450 level that we're talking about. We broke it, came back down, had a bunch of garbage here in February before ultimately seeing its temporary demise down to $2. So yeah, 450, a good spot for Afria. We're going to be hammering that one long.
All right, guys, let's go to your daily dose of COVID-19 related trading opportunities. This one, APDN, up 70% in the pre-market here. They've announced this morning that they've shipped the first batch of their vaccine, or their version of a vaccine, for clinical trials. So positive news for APDN. $8, just left the cursor up here at $8 even, came up here already once in the pre-market and tested that. If it's going to stay below $8, obviously a significant level. If we get above $8, a lot of room to run for this one. APDN, one to watch this morning as well. Sean.
APDN, okay, yeah, we're going to look at that one. Let's look at that right now. APDN, we'll look at that right now and just have a quick look to see what we're talking about. $8, yeah, wow. Big level for APDN. Oh, only up 72%. This is one of those stocks, again, guys, where I crushed, was it SONN yesterday? I've been hammering some of these small cap stocks. We took $3 or $4 on an $8 name yesterday. Is this in it for APDN again today? Let me just check a little bit of a longer time frame on my other screens here. $8 looks, yeah, we've hit $8 before. Let's call up a daily chart here to see if we can help you guys out. Who's ringing the bell today? Maybe it's going to be Valeria's going to get over there or somebody. We'll figure that out. It's Rob. Okay, $8 to the top side. We've been here before. Look, $8 here, $8 back in March. We got as high as 9. It looks like we're going to test that level again. This is an ultimate spot to maybe fade it all the way back down here. Look at this. It keeps bouncing off to 795. The highest it got was 825. I'll play along through 825, but look out for the bottoms, man. It looks like a little bit better here on the short side of things with only 2 minutes to go. We're going to break 8 right now, and there it goes. 803. We could break this 825, and if so, look out. Brendan, what was the news? Sorry, I was getting some orders set up on APDN. Is this another coronavirus stock? It's Applied DNA Sciences.
Yeah, so they we were mentioning they shipped their first batch of their version of a vaccine for clinical trials. So
okay.
Nothing as far as positive results yet, but the first batch of their vaccine out for clinical trials now.
Okay, great. That's great news. So APDN, good news on that, a good story there for clinical trials. We like that. We see what can happen with these stocks, and here goes another one today. So I have my order in, man, 825. Let's blow that through, and we'll see if we do get some shares. I'm with you guys, Joseph, everybody. Let's see what happens with Tesla off the open here. It should be exciting. I'm looking at DAL right now. Delta, you guys know about that stock. It's a popular one for us, 25. Let's see if it breaks through 25, and then we'll try to play the short on that one. I wrote down so many things. AAL, Goldman Sachs. Let's check back in on Citigroup quickly. The levels I wrote down here, 43.25 or so. That level could break if it does. Look out below on Citigroup. Less than a minute to go. I'm going to get some orders in here, but I do like Citigroup. 43.25 as a break. And we wrote down on the top here, basically 44 even. So give yourself a little bit of room. Remember though, market on open orders coming right at you now. So that's going to create a little bit of action off this open. But for now, guys, it's only 30 seconds to go. We're going to get our orders set up here. We do use stop orders on the show. Neil's going to be on the chat. And, if there's any questions you have for him, I don't know if he's able to look at quotes today or not, but hopefully he'll have a little something to say to add to some of the values here. I can't trade everything. It's only me today. So we're going to wait to see. Here goes APDN. We're already in this spot. So now we're long. $8.33. APDN, couple hundred shares. Let's see what we can do to start the day. We're also in DAL. DAL, a nice move to the downside. Sorry, Rob, I didn't even get you to the bell there. My bad. We had the bell. We are now open. DAL to the downside. We have a big winner right here, guys. Delta, we are short 25 even, and bang. Thank you, Rob. Oh, I like the mask there. A little scary there. The faceless man there. Nice job there, Rob. 25. We are short. We're already huge. No, Neil, no worries. Here we go. APN. Unfortunately, that goes to 880. Was not able to get out because I was too busy cashing in, Brendan, on Delta. Delta to the south side. Look where we're short, 25 and change. We get executed on that right away, and now we can go to the moon because our net is blasting off right now. Let's get out to some more shares on this one. And there we go. Citigroup to the short side as well. 43.25 breaks. So now we've got Citigroup short side, we've got Delta, and we have APDN turning around on us a little bit here. We're unable to get out of everything, but let's see what we can do with APDN right now. Brendan, what an exciting morning, buddy. I got to get out of some of these.
Yeah, just watching SONN as well here, guys, to the downside. This was that big mover we saw yesterday. Obviously, halted all the way up here in the morning yesterday, down 4.25% here. Watch $8. We came in the afternoon yesterday and held $8. We can stay below $8 for SONN. Might give you an opportunity to the downside, Sean.
So, Brandon, Citigroup, is it open? It's open, but there was a big, huge spread there. So we're cashing in right now, guys, big time. Delta is a 17, 18 penny winner. We've already cashed this in the 60s. I need this market to fall because it's hard to manage the show and all these positions at once. And bang, there it goes. So we smile ourselves away here. What a winner here. Citigroup for the win, guys. Wow. Neil, I hope you're getting better, but this has been a great move down here on this market. 42.90. Great trade here on Citigroup. We're just going to try to bang, we're cashing these out. 31 cents, 32, 33 cent winner here on Citigroup as we continue to go down. The thing is, I got to get out of this APDN here. I'm just not going to worry about it. It didn't blast up as much as we have. Still have 100 shares of this one, but look at Citigroup, couple hundred shares of this one. We captured this down at 42.80. We're already pretty nice here, guys. We didn't get out of enough, but we're going to try to get out of as much as we can. What time is it? I'm already exhausted. 9:32 here. Delta to the downside. That's 22 pennies. Here goes Delta. We are reining it in. Keep your questions coming to Valeria. I'm going to try to work my way out of some of these. Bye-bye, Citigroup. Citigroup is now near the lows. So once again, guys, we're going to try to get out of all of these stocks as we go. Why does Citigroup have such a huge spread, though? That's the one thing that we're worried about. Okay. So, to recap, here we go, guys. We have Citigroup. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's throw up our position board here. We're so early in, but I'm going to have to get out of some of this Delta before I do that, Rob, because this is coming back against me here. But here we go. Let's update it and start our position board up right now. It's been an exhausting one, but these are the stocks that I have. Wow, I've already had 30 fills, guys. Okay, Citigroup right now, we're short at 43.20. That's now going against me. Delta also short at 25, which is now going against me. And APDN, which is now going against me. That's nice. So let's get back over here to the trades. Look, we've already cashed in a lot. Delta's actually right here at $25. So not much to worry about there. We'll try to get out of some of this as we go. But Citigroup's been a big winner for us, as has Delta. But now Citigroup trying to catch a little bit of this move into the upside here. As we said, this is why you got to rein in and cash in a little bit of your trades as we go. Valeria has left. And Brendan, have you been able to do anything this morning at all? I know trading's going to be tough for you since we're alone.
Just watching Afria here breaking to the downside, guys. 415 had a little bit of a pivot in the pre-market before the open, just got broken. So long way to go if this thing wants to get going to the downside. 365 at the bottom. Obviously, we also had Tesla popping up on a volume scanner. Yeah, look at that. Big volume spike at the open there for Tesla. Still 4.5% in positive territory. 740, we were talking about that level, and then 750 to the upside. A couple of names moving so far, Sean.
Okay, good. Thanks, Brendan. Okay, what I was looking at here was this 43.60 level. I'm going to hold this Citigroup. I mean, I'm averaging into Citigroup. We just took some more shares. No, I did not. My order was at 37. Okay, not 27. I'm going to average in here a little bit to Citigroup until we get to that 43.60, 43.70 area. That'll be the spot where we tap out and get out of that one. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to monitor this one as well as I wanted to. APDN coming to the downside here, so we won't be positive on this stock if we get out at the 750 level, which it looks like it will crack. Oh, thank you, Valeria, bringing me the good stuff here. Cheers to everybody watching the show today. Oh no, there goes my pen. It's on the other side. I will see ya. 760, if that breaks, you're going to be in a little bit of problem here. But right now, Delta, Citi, and APDN is what we're working with. My APDN, I'm looking at 750. Thank you. As our out, we'll kill that there. Is there any symbols you guys are looking at? I'll try to do my best to come over to the chat. I want to go over to BAC as well and Goldman Sachs, but I got to put an order in to get out of this APDN if it does break back above 750. This might be or below. This may be a good spot to actually take some more shares here on APDN. Okay, Citigroup now unfortunately breaks back above that 43.60 spot. This is where we're a little nervous right here. That high was 43.78. If we break above that, we're gonna have to tap out. We are now short 43.22. It's hard for me to keep managing all of these positions here. So I'm gonna slow down a bit and try to see if Citigroup, what it wants to do here at 43, 44, I guess, is not a bad spot to kill this one out for me right now. But APDN, Citigroup, and Delta all moving for us. But if we can, why don't we throw to Valeria, and she'll be able to ask you guys, hit that like button, hit subscribe and everything. It's a one-man show today, guys. So we are going to be throwing to Valeria a little bit more, and we are ready for her right now. What's up, Valeria?
Well, guys, almost whole planet under the quarantine, and hopefully you can trade from home with us. And if you can't, thank God we still have internet open and you can follow us, and it's the best time to learn how to trade. So guys, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. We are also having now a super chat feature if you want something extraordinary, and keep questions going. I'm gonna ask them to Neil on the chat or to Sean directly. I'll see you later.
There we go. Take a sip of that coffee. And yeah, okay. So just to give you guys an update here, Citigroup, it looks like it's going to smash through this $44 level. We did try another little short here, and there it goes. So we're going in and out of Citigroup there. We tried another short at 44. We talked about it going through 43.60. Didn't get my order in, and boom, it goes right to the upside. So at least we're sort of right about that one. Let's check out Bank of America, 22.50. Here we go. It goes right down to that 22 level again. If we weren't caught up a little bit, we may have noticed that one and able to get out there, but we were not. So we missed that number here. 22 even on the downstream of things here as we go. But Delta's now making a move. What is that, 25.32 here to the top side. I'm really surprised at this market, guys. I mean, the market now taking off upside here. So let's go back over to Delta Airlines. We're still up. This was a huge trade for us. This was a fantastic one. It's now coming a little bit against us. I do like this top, though, 25.32. Very possible that we're able to get out of that stock stock as we go. So 25.32, a nice little blowout spot to go long on Delta. That's this top right here. If it takes it out again, let's reverse course. The market does not seem to want to go down here, guys. So we will take this Delta long, 25.32, if that does come in. Anything else moving around out there, Brendan?
Yeah, MFA Financial, just going to mention this one to you, still gapping to the downside, 5% negative territory. Huge buy volume at the open, though. We got back above 170, obviously in the same group as the rest of the bank, so moving to the downside. However, showing a little bit of relative strength. I mean, the bank's trying to find a little bit of a bottom, it seems, but MFA definitely stronger than most, Sean.
You know what, let's do that. Let's check over on JP Morgan and see, because yesterday, of course, JP Morgan was the problem bank. And we saw what happened yesterday when JP Morgan was moving around. And yeah, it's going to be a tough one today. 2.5 million shares does make that stop there at 92. Now we're coming to look like a breakdown on the downside of JP Morgan. Even though the market's coming up, JP bounces nicely off that 92 level. Let's see if it takes this bottom out again. 90.60, yikes, that's quite the bottom. Okay, here goes Delta, so let's go. So hopefully we punch Delta. I'm pretty long now. I like Delta long. It's been a positive stock. It's going upside. We punched that long. This has been my number one stock so far today. Here we go, bang! We're long Delta right now, guys. 25.34. Let's see if we can't just keep taking some out here on this top side move. Breaking through 25.50. Here we go. We've got Delta long. This is a good trade for us right now. Long 25.34. Let's see if we can't break this level. This is where we're talking about, guys. 25.60 and change is where we think this stock can get to. I'm going to take a little bit more out here ahead of 50. There we go. We get out some 49s there. Hopefully you saw that hit on the screen. So we're long 25.34 now. It's having a problem at 25.50. If you've never looked at a level 2 before, here's the size. You see a nice little 60,000 shares. It's going to resist that a little bit. Come on, baby. Punch it through. Let's go. Let's give it some help there. It misses. It goes back down to 24.45. And here we go. A little retracement back on Delta. So we're having a problem at 50. I think we're going to try to get out of some more shares here as we go. Back down to 39. So we're long right now at 34 on Delta. It did have a problem at 50. We saw that. So wow, we should have got out of everything. Back down to 25.20 now. Turn this stock into a loser. But we do have that protection down here of 25 even. But here comes 25 very fast. Look at this market. Now you want to fade out? So yeah, we're probably going to have to exit this Delta trade as we go. Is Citigroup finally fading back down through 44? Here it goes. Let's see if Citigroup has another move in it or so to the downside. So we'll short this 44 and use this as the top. 44.25. We're going to go short now. Maybe this market does want to give some back here on some of these banks. We're nice little bit short here on Citigroup, and our deltas come back a little bit. So maybe this is okay. Not sure what that flush was. A big flush all the way down to 25 even. We'll try to load up a little bit more long if that does happen again. But wow, what an exciting day to start with. I've only been trading 3 stocks, and they've been a busy 3. So I apologize for all of that not getting to the chat, but we will have to keep going. That's a short. Tesla over 750 now. Wow, I'll have to get over to that and see what's happening. But right now we have Citigroup, Delta, and APDN. So our Citigroup short is this 43.90 right now. It looks like it's going to break back above this high, and if it does, we're going to have to get out at some point here. $43, $44. Looks like that'll be something we'll have to trade around. But yeah, wow. I hope you guys are having a good time. Thanks for joining us today. It's a one-man show. Normally we have a partner in crime, but Neil off today, so he'll be back hopefully tomorrow, and then we can trade back as a team. But right now, just by my lonesome here, so tough to go over everything with you guys. So if there's any stocks that I'm missing, throw them in the chat, and we'll see if we can team this up and get going on some of these names. But right now, just to give you guys a fill in here, APDN does break down. We capture some profits early. Unfortunately, too much happening. Could have got out some 875 APDN. Any other kind of runners right now, Brendan, that you're seeing at all?
Yeah, Sean, take a breath. We'll get through a few of these here. Space, another one. I feel like we're talking about this name every single day. Virgin Galactic back to the upside again today. 4.20 or 4.2% here. Just broke 19 rather at the open there on huge volume. So a nice little pivot in the afternoon from yesterday. Space moving back to the upside on significant volume. Also noted Tesla starting to make a little bit of a pivot where you might be able to, start thinking about the long as well. But space definitely relatively strong at this point, Sean.
Okay, Space. Yeah, we traded that yesterday. Space. That wasn't that much of a breathing room here, but okay. Yeah, Space goes down. And look at Delta. Now we start crashing back down. This bottom was 24.50 or so. So that was a little bit of a problem for me there. 25.60 coming through on Delta. But okay, so right now we're short Citigroup, 44. That did come back down to $44. So we're going to wait to see if that does take out its top here. 44.30 or so has been the top on that one. Delta does turn around and start heading southbound. Not a bad spot to maybe think about a long right now. We'll take a few more shares long here at the bottom. 24.90. We're taking that long. Our average price going to get back into 25.20. So still out about 20 cents on this one. And here we go. Citigroup hopefully making that move down now as we break back down through $44. Here we go. Let's see if Citigroup wants to get elevated back to the downside. Delta trying to get back above. I don't know if this one's going to go or not. We may just have to get out of some of these shares here as we go. We'll put some orders to get out of some of our Delta. Let's see what this wants to do. But now the market is heading southbound, so this Delta position, so we are short here. Again, we reloaded down here at 44, and I'll hit that reload thing, but we don't want to count our chickens before they hatch as Citigroup continues to go downside, but as does Delta. So we tried that break here of Delta, and it was a nice little winner. We noted a 25.50 seller. Look at that, man, guys. Now that's 75 cents lower now. So if you guys want to see anything, that's a good little note. The next time we see a big seller on a stock, we got to run away from that and get out of our current position. Brendan, what you got?
Beame, another one we've looked at many times, little Chinese pharmaceutical or pharmacy chain. They have pharmacy stores over in China. Big time reversal here at 3:30, but look at this, 17% to the upside. Huge volume behind this move. They announced this morning they're going to expand that pharmacy chain. So more stores being open. 330, 340. Wish I saw this earlier. Came up here in the pre-market and failed. So a nice little look here to the downside possibly for BIMI. Sean.
BIMI. Okay. Good look there. We didn't take anything out of our Citigroup, so I think that would be silly to not do that. So let's look to do some of that right now. So here we go. We take out a nice little chunk of our Citigroup. We are short right now, guys. 44.03. So it's making some moves. So that's why we're going to take a little bit out here on that topic. Okay. Delta. Thank God. Delta back from the dead here, maybe. A little bit. We're going to wait to see if that is the case. I'm going to cancel all my orders on this name and see if we can't continue to go upside. Look, we bought some. If you're looking for us for the first time today, these up arrows, these are buy arrows, right? These are going long, so we're buying stock, not necessarily going long. I would correct myself. Anytime you see a green is when we're buying the stock. So you have to sort of follow along. We'll see the bottom notes, what we're in at, what our positions are, what stocks we're trading. And today it's just going to be me, but normally you'll see Neil and me flash back and forth what positions we do have. So right now we are long Delta, but we're long at 24.91 off of this great average in here. We did take some out 97s there on the top side, so we're going to wait to see if Delta can get back above $25. I do like it if that does happen, but that still needs to go through. Our other trade here is Citigroup. That's making new bottoms here on this move. It needs to break through 43.75. As you can see, Citigroup here bouncing right now at this 43.75 spot. Again, welcome everybody on the show. We got to say what's up to our good friend Neil Roberts, at home chilling out right now. We'll be hopefully back tomorrow, so join us for that. If you're watching us on Facebook, come over to YouTube, guys. We do have a big following there and a very active chat, and we're trying to get out. Where's my Citigroup bids? 63, 61, so we're going to see if we can get out of some Citigroup here. We have a nice 40-cent winner on board. Come on, Citigroup. Let's print the 60s, and what do you got for us, Brandon?
No, little teeny tiny one here. CHCI 200. 15% to the upside, just broke $5 even here on significant volume. They reported full year earnings that were a huge surprise, obviously, but 200% for CHCI, little holdings company, off to the races today.
Okay, so we just bounced off my 61. We'll have a look at that stock for sure. Brendan, any name that Brendan gives us, we got to look at, or else that seems foolish. Okay, Citigroup, guys, we are short 44.03, coming back from the dead here. Hopefully we can get some prints down here, 43 and change. Follow me on Twitter. Follow us everywhere. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting some excitement back in our voice. Delta coming back through to the upside here. We are long Delta 24.79. You know what? This is probably a good time here. The market's a little calmed down. Don't know if we have any numbers coming at 10. Let's throw up our board right now. Look, I still have really small on this APDN. It's a small position. We're just going to wait to see what it does. We've gotten out of the majority of our shares, but there's APDN. Look at our Citigroup 44.03. That's a 40-cent winner right now. Our Delta, there we go, bang. We just get out of some of our Citigroup. Delta right there. It's hard. hovering around flat for now, but we've averaged into this position. I'm really happy with it. I like this 24.80 bottom. Let's have another look at Delta right now just to see what it wants to do. We've been getting out here on the chart. 24.90s is sort of where we're topped out at. I still think we can have another run though back to the top side here of $25. If that happens, then cha-ching, we'll get some money coming out on that one. But look at our Citigroup. This is the trade that we like right now. All of these purples are short sells, but Brendan, what you got, bud?
Afria coming back to the downside as well, just broke that 4. We mentioned $4 even. Tried to hold, was not successful, obviously. So we're below 4 now. I was mentioning this 365, 360 area down here could be a target if you are looking short side. Afria not holding up too well so far, Sean.
No, but what is holding up so far right now is where. Like, I'm all out of sorts today. Where is my cash? Let's throw some cash around as we are now just sort of scalping Delta. So we're getting in and out of Delta now. Our day is getting much, much better. We have those average prices. 25.75 is our average long here on Delta. So I've just been scalping it out. It's not many shares. I'm trying to hold for a home run back to the top side here. The market gets going, I think we can do that. But unfortunately, when the market gets going, that means that so does Citigroup. So now Citigroup's back to the upside here of 44 and change. We're still going to try to use this top here, 44.29, 44.30 as a top on Citigroup. I'm going to try to check a little bit of a longer time frame here as we can on Citigroup and get another look. Again, I have all these charts. Yeah, go back to that look there, Rob. That's a good one. I have all these different charts set up here. Daily charts, 12 minutes. I like to look at 3 minutes. Yeah, good look here as well. Sort of a little cockpit, if you will, of trading. So we have a lot going on right now, but we do have Brendan ready for another one.
Another big mover from 2 days ago, I believe it was, Works here. WORX came up to 11 yesterday a couple of times. Gave you a great shorting opportunity. We're back above 950. Just watching this 10 area. We'll see what happens at 10. Was a little bit of support in the pre-market yesterday. If you're looking short side on WORX, if I move this way a little bit more, you can see, yeah, this was the day. Had a huge move from $2.30 all the way up to $14. So still in the process of kind of working its way back down. But Works also showing some strength again today.
Works, eh? Okay. Let's check out this APDN one more time. Sometimes these stocks like to give themselves a secondary push. This was that breaking point right here, 875. I think you could maybe take a long here. It's bounced off 870 a couple times. We're going to see about breaking through 7. This is not a horrible spot to average in on this stock. I feel like we've missed it a little bit though already. APDN, sort of the moonshot here for us, 670, 675. We may average in on this one if we can in the 80s or 90s, and then use 675 as our ultimate kill spot for that stock. But let's have a look quickly at Tesla. I know that's a name that a lot of you guys are looking at, 740 as well right now. So hopefully we can take some Tesla today. Let's just see what we're doing. It's still so tight, man. This consolidation is ridiculous. Like, you get up to 750 here and then back down. I did talk about this as being a nice little spot here on the short side, 734. We did get to that before breaking down right off the open. This is the first candle, 725. We've protected 730 since, but I do like possibly a break through of 731 on the downside if this market wants to give some back. Or on the upside, you do have VWAP right here. That's somewhat enticing to me. A little VWAP break here. That would be 742.50. So I think if Tesla can get above 742.50, we could get excited again. So we're going to put an order to go long there. But Brendan, what you got?
Apple, just watching some of the tech names moving back to the downside as well. Obviously, market's still weak here. Almost 2% for Apple. Had a huge day to the upside yesterday, so giving back some of that. I was just looking at this level 280 area from back in the morning yesterday. Came down here a couple times already and held. So 280.85 down to about 280.50 if that goes. A long way to go. Still downside action possible for Apple today, Sean.
Yeah, I just put in a short here. Now that you mentioned that, I just put in another short. Okay, so we just got out of our delta. It does break below 24.50 there. No real harm done here because that's sort of where we were in. We were taking profits out there, but delta's not going to be a winning trade for us as it does break back down below that level of 24.50 where we got out. So delta, we will pop a wheelie early, and then if I can find our next one, fallen a hole late. So Delta, nice little win for us today. It's been a good stock, but unfortunately it does fall through, which is great news for our Citigroup. We did not load up again. It didn't really get into that 44.20 area where we wanted to reload for our short, but right now Citigroup popping to the downside. We have a nice little 35 cent winner on this name. We'll see if it can't keep going more and more, but we are going to see here 43.60, 43.70 coming through. Our best outs here on Citigroup was at this 43.60 area, right where VWAP is. If we can zoom in a little bit here, you can see we're bouncing off this 43.60 level, so not a bad spot to possibly get out. So we'll do just that. We get out of 20% of our position right now on Citigroup, and look at that, what a good out as we're starting to pop back a little bit. Brendan, what you got from me again?
Just seeing a little penny stock if you like to look at the penny stocks out there. 30 cents here on RTTR. Was a bit of a pivot yesterday in the afternoon. Obviously positive news yesterday midday. We're above that now. Significant volume coming in behind this move as well. So 9% already for RTTR. I mean, a little 30-cent stock, but a nice mover today as well. Sean.
Nice mover. Yeah, good one there. 44. Let's go 44.40 or so. We'll try this. Okay, so yeah, we're just putting in our stops here. We're going to try to get some more short on Citigroup as it is failing a little bit here at some of these key levels. Here comes Tesla though, guys. Tesla to the upside. We may get put in to a position right here. If we can break above the 742, let's take Tesla long and target some of these areas here. 746, 747 or so on Tesla. If we can break back above this VWAP, it looks like it'll be a nice little movement. We'll see if we get out of half around 745, 746, and then hold for the ultimate all the way up here. If we do get in though, let me look at this chart a little quicker here. This bottom, it's bounced off a couple times, 739. This is not going to be a quick trade. If we do get 742s, we'll get out 738, 739. What's up, Brendan?
Just watching that CHCI, Neil mentioning there to us, CHCI halted briefly, back open on a volatility halt, it looks like, back through 5. So we broke 5 to the upside, looking like it might want to act as resistance. This thing doing all kinds of volume already. 182% on the day, CHCI, looking like it might want to fade back in now.
Afria, talking about filling that gap, I actually like that play a little bit right now. To the short side, I guess, you're talking about filling the gap. APHA here, Afria, we'll look at that on the New York Stock Exchange. Also traded in Toronto, so you could definitely check that out. Yes, Veronica, short means sell. Yeah, doesn't mean sell. It means we're borrowing the shares and then selling them back in the market. Check out our YouTube page. I think we have some options there to view that, and I'll go over that in a minute when the market does slow down a bit. We'll talk a little bit about short selling. Okay, right here, this is a nice little play. I don't mind to the long side if we can break back above $4 or so on Afria. I think we can climb a little bit. So let's look at Afria breaking back above 4. We're only at 393 right here. So we'll see if we can spark one up back above $4. However, we have been breaking lower. So 386, not bad. Afria was up, and we talked about in the pre-market, 18%. So Afria now making that move. What's up, Brendan?
Another one we were talking about first thing yesterday morning. Another one of those home food delivery services, Waiter Holdings, back to the upside here. This thing did basically the exact same thing here. Yesterday morning, we got all the way up to 117, 118, and then it kind of just chopped around for the rest of the day. So watching this, note at the bottom here, volume not as nice as yesterday, but if we can get up here to 115, maybe 118, might give you a shot on the short side for WTRH, guys.
6 spot, yeah, we're gonna look at this trade right now. Okay, I'm just debating. I took a little bit more long here on this APDN. It's bouncing off 7 a bit. It gets as high as 730. So right now our average price is still gonna be up here, 790 or so. But I do think this is a possibility to get some of this money back. Maybe we get back up here to 750, 760 or so. But we are long APDN using the 670 as a bottom, and there it goes. Finally, yes, sir. So we get smiley now with Citigroup because that turns into a little bit of money now as we are short this name. I told you we'd be short some Citigroup, so we'll rein in the money. We'll start collecting it right now and bring that money back through. So Citigroup giving us back what we lost on some of our our initial shorts here. But Citigroup still a positive stock for us today. So we're going to see if this one wants to come back down to the short side. Is there a level we can smash short? It's that same level, guys. I mean, it's still this 43.25. So if we can get down there and keep moving lower in this market, which looks like is happening right now, the S&P 500 bounces hard off 27.80 and straight to the downside in Citigroup. So this is a great opportunity. Maybe take some off here in Citigroup if we can. We'll put an order on the bid here. It's bouncing off 38 now. We'll see if we can't get some of this trade on. But right now we're short 44.03, and there it is. A nice little chicken dinner winner there. Short 44.03, out 38. That's a 60 penny winner. So cheers to you guys. Anybody having this on us is going to be a good, happy trader, hopefully, today. It's been a good one. That slow stock that Neil was talking about, what was that, CHCI?
Yeah, right. Big mover, obviously, to the upside. Was halted a couple of times. We mentioned that, I think it was $5 area, back below it, now coming back in. Just watching some of these cannabis names here in Toronto. 5.8% for Hexo. Going to show you that coming up in a few minutes when we recap some of North American markets. Sean.
Okay, $4.10. I'm still looking. You know what? Afria can probably go, man. I mean, Afria can probably go through 4. I didn't put the order in, but it looks like it wants to probably go through 4. So we'll take this. We'll take a small little 500 share break here. If it does go through, we'll test it small and then see what happens. We'll put on 500 shares. It's going to be a small position. I would much rather hit it for more. Well, we will hit it for more when it breaks back above $4.10 or so. So here it comes. We gave you this trade down here at about 380, 390. I did like what it was trying to do here. So we're going to see if it can now break through this $4 mark. And if it does, then we'll get into some shares on Afri. And again, we do have a stop buy order in. So I'll put that up on the board here to let you guys know what that means. And that means as soon as 401 is triggered, it's going to send out basically a market order and get me long a specific, well, I put in a 405. So it's going to cross up 5 cents, get me long on a stop buy order. That way we don't have to worry too much about what's happening with these stocks as we bounce around, because here we go. Citigroup still 46, man. We're still short 44.03. So this is a nice little spot for us. We're in the money 56 cents right here on Citigroup. It looks like it's bouncing around. I think consider this a good out down here at 39. So I think we'll take some more out right now. And there it is. We take some out at 53s. So that's once again a 50 penny winner. So we'll floss that off. It's been a little bit of a slow day here for some of these stocks, but we do have a great opportunity to get a few more names under our belt right here. So we're going to throw it to Brendan with happening now, guys.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here, back in negative territory, unfortunately, after a nice positive 2 days in a row. Just keep in mind, 10 o'clock, if you're watching Canadian markets, we have the Bank of Canada interest rate decision coming up here in a few seconds. Remember, they've had 2 emergency cuts because of what is happening with the outbreak. So we'll see what happens here in a couple of seconds. But let's talk about the markets here for a second. S&P 500, 2.3% to the downside. The Dow 2%, the NASDAQ following suit as well, more than 2% in negative territory. Small caps really getting hurt here, 4% for the Russell to the downside so far today. In Toronto here, back to 14,000, Sean, for the TSX, 1.8% again today to the downside. So a little bit better than U.S. counterparts, but Canadian markets also under pressure once again, unfortunately. Yeah, here's Afria, still solidly higher. Again, you can trade this one both in Toronto or down on the NASDAQ. Afria to the downside right from the word go today. $6 at the top up here. We had $5.50 holding as support. We'll see what happens at $5.50. If you're looking at the Canadian version, $5 down here is where we were yesterday. So still significant room to go if it wants to kind of fade off throughout the rest of the morning and the rest of the trading session. Another little one, just mentioned this one, Hexo, all kinds of volume behind this as well. Moving back to the downside after a nice gap to the upside. 80 cents, if you go to a daily chart, was a bit of an opportunity, I think. Missed that one this morning as well, all the way down to 71 for Hexo on that fade type of idea. Here's weed, 2160. Was kind of where it stalled out at the open. We're back to 21 even. Was a bit of support around midday yesterday, 21 even. So let's see what happens here. If we can hold 21 even, maybe it starts to rebound. But cannabis names, I should say, right across the board in play so far today. Markets are red, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens. Some of the banks still kind of trying to find their footing and maybe give a little bit of support. Let's go back to Sean.
See there, left it unchanged. So Bank of Canada still at 0.25 there. So nice little move here happening in APDN. We did take a more long here at 90 like we talked about. So our average price now 27. So we could turn this stock into a decent winner here, APDN, to the upside now. Off a couple nice little averages in here. Let's see if we can't get going. I'm sitting here at 21. I don't know why I picked 21, but APDN back to almost in the money for me now on this name. So good little stock here. I'll take some out if I can, and there we go. We'll take a little bit out and see if we can't run this stock to the upside again. APDN will take it through 750 here, hopefully, and start going. So this is one of those rainmakers that we can see if it will rain down some profits for us on APDN. So let's give an air horn to anybody that was long down here with me. 690. We'll take some out at 713, like we just did. Do I have any other orders out there? 717 we're waiting right here as well. And then we'll wait to see if we can take out 730. And then hopefully more to the upside will come on APDN. I want you guys to also follow us on Twitter if you can. We're posting those trades and some of the key charts that I'm looking at throughout the day as well. Okay, one thing that we do that Neil always does, and I'm going to do it right now, is this profit by market. I hope you guys can see this. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger for you. There it goes. Yeah, that hopefully helps. So this is Day Trade the World. That's the platform that we're using, guys. And every single day we broadcast our numbers for all of our traders on our internal board. And so everybody can see this. We trade over 60 live markets. So you don't have to see me and Neil just trading New York, and NYSE American, NASDAQ, futures and whatnot. But here we go. Amex yesterday, that's NYSE American. Of course, we still have the old name there. We should probably change that. 38,000. Congratulations to anybody on that market yesterday. And look at the LSE. $36,000 made there. These are all US dollars, so anyone trading British pound there gets converted. So if that was you yesterday, congratulations. Someone on the NASDAQ crushed 31,000. I only made 30,000, so I didn't get on that board. Canada, 8,000. I didn't make $30,000 yesterday. $8,000 on Canada. Zetra, as we go. Look at the broad markets that we have though here, guys. I think this is very important to understand. Zetra, Helsinki, Paris, Lisbon, Stockholm, Copenhagen. Look at all of these numbers. We are well diversified. It's a great platform. Day Trade the World. Check it out. This is what we're using, the P Pro 8 platform. And these are some very, very impressive numbers. Shout out to Jeff Mendel. We had someone yesterday even make $1,500 on the OTC pink market. But without any further ado, let's give it to the man. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Sean, just on that LSE, worth mentioning, Scott Bradley from the LSE coming up later in the show today, around 11:40, 11:45. So yeah, we saw huge numbers out of the LSE yesterday. We'll talk to Scott about how things have been kind of operating throughout this big pandemic and sell off throughout global markets. So coming up just after 11:40 today should be a good one with Scott Bradley from the LSE. That's Best Buy. Just found a little news story here on Best Buy. 51,000 employees being furloughed in the U.S. Hourly employees being furloughed. Had a look at the chart though. Not a lot of volume on Best Buy today, but it is to the downside. Let's go over to Valeria.
Okay, you could stop. Yeah, good. Okay. Come back to me now. Thank you, Valeria. I don't know, is my mic working? Guys, if you guys can tell us if my mic is working, that would be great. But apparently there is no audio right now. My mic was choppy before. And okay, am I good to go, guys? Let me know on the chat if I'm good to go on my mic, because right now we're testing these out. Okay, yes, okay, good. It's good to go. All right, so on that note, let's hit the cowbell, because at least the sound effects will be working. Look at this, guys. We talked about short selling on the market. Ah, boo. APDN breaks breaks through that 680 here, and now we're starting to head south side. I don't think we have shortable shares here, but APDN, what a great stock. This would have been to short all day. Unfortunately, I was caught long here. We tried it one more time. We got out at 715. Now we're crashing down. Look out for this break here, 650 on the south side APDN. Okay, here goes Tesla. We told you we'd take that long. 742.70. We're long Tesla. Let's see what we can do now. The market bouncing back up. 742.70. We are now long Tesla. Let's put an order to get out here. 746 maybe on Tesla's where I initially liked it. We spiked as high as 746.70 there. So 746.75. Maybe we'll put an order to get out of our Tesla shares here. But we are long right now Tesla. Nicely, it was $2-3 in the money. But we're going to wait to see if this market wants to go back upside. We get as high as 745 there. 746.50 is the high. What's up, Brendan?
Just watching some of the airlines here, guys. JetBlue back at an interesting spot. We mentioned, obviously, the positivity right out of the gate this morning for this entire group. This thing has faded all the way back to 950. 950 was definitely a pivot in the morning yesterday and also right at the end of the day yesterday. So we'll see what happens with JBLU here at 950, Sean.
Yeah, so 738.50 or so has to be our kill spot for Tesla, I think, at some point. So we drop all the way back down there. Of course, I get long Tesla, and then the market starts dropping down. So we're going to see what happens there. Oh, okay. In Canada, we had that interest rate announcement here. So, yeah, your boy's playing everything right now. So we'll confetti this one up because we're in a different market. We are now long. My charts don't look so sweet here because there's no pre-market action on these Canadian banks. But we did take that long. TD Bank down 2.5%. No change in interest rates. I'm pretty sure they were thinking that they were maybe even gone to zero, but they stay at 25 basis points there. So we are long now on this break. You can see we've covered up a lot of this garbage here on TD Bank. 57 basically to 57.20. You could trade this in New York if you want as well. But right now, TD Bank for the win, hopefully breaking above this little level of support. I thought it was anyways. 57.30. I guess it was resistance on the top side. Now we're going to use it. Hopefully have some support. VWAP is all the way back down here. So we'll get out of this one, guys, if it breaks. You know, I mean, we're only long at 57.30. It's not a huge deal. We'll probably wait till the low of the day here, 56.92 or so on TD Bank. So we're going to see if we can't run that one to the top side. Unfortunately, our Tesla right now not working out great. It's still basically flat. We're out of money $1 right here. I'm not going to hold this down below too much lower than 738.50. I just don't need to get caught up in this garbage because then we could see 734. And really, I'm not feeling losing $10 right now on Tesla. It's not even, it doesn't even have a $10 range. We're going to park it up here. Hopefully the futures can get going and we'll tap this out a little bit at 746 and then see if we can't let it run to the top side if that wants to go. One thing that continues to work for us though is Citigroup. And this is sort of, let's do a little bit of a lesson here. I see a lot of people questioning what is a short sell, what is a long, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a little bit thing here, short sell arrow. So I'm actually going to call this up. If you follow along at home there, watch what I'm going to do here. All of these purple marks here, guys, these are actually short sells. So what that means is you have to go ahead, knock on your broker's door, and borrow shares from them. What they do is, yeah, I will get to upgrades and downgrades after I'm done this. So 43.23 right now, I went short. So I borrowed shares and gave them back to the market. So someone paid me here these shares, and I owe them back to the broker. So every time I start buying them back, I'm just covering these short positions because at the end of the day, we have to be flat here at Day Trade the World. So every little purple mark that you see is me going short. I'm borrowing shares in the market because I believe the stock price is going to fall. And when it does, hopefully, like I was cashing the money in right now, I'm short right now, 44.03. So I own shares at 44.03. I got to give them back to the market. So I've borrowed them now and I got to return them back. So when I return them back at 5-cent winner. So that's how we're okay. Tesla, let's get going. Tesla to the top side. Here we go. I'm almost out of this thing. Bang, there it is. Tesla for the nice little win. So we can floss that up, Brendan. I close my chart, put it back up so you guys can see that. Tesla back upside there. So here's a nice little trade. We'll minimize this. Long at 742, out at 746.40 there. So here's the trade. We're in, we're out, we're holding half. Thank God it $4 winner on Tesla. We'll celebrate that all day long. Now, here, still going. Let's go, Tesla. We have that long. I'm going to throw to Brendan in a second. I just want to hit this little logo. Bang! Tesla electrifying our nets today. I hope you guys are trading with me long that one. 742. Never really went against us. It went about $3 against us, but there we go. We take the $4 win. That's called our risk reward. Shout out to Neil, who's erratic. I'm a little more erratic, but was a good trade there. 747 now. Can we get to 750? I'm going to park and order 750. See if we can take a clean $8 on Tesla, Brendan. Take it away.
Hey, yeah, we'll jump into upgrades and downgrades here, guys. Have a look at some things that caught an upgrade today. Interesting moves here. We have Canada Goose, first off, in negative territory. Obviously, the entire market under pressure today, but 2.2% to the downside for Canada Goose. Down here, Target as well, also in the red, 1.8% for Target with an upgrade. All of these to the downside today, AMC, JP Morgan, Visa, and MasterCard. JP Morgan, obviously big mover yesterday. We were talking about that one. AMC, that one's in trouble. Don't think they're going to be able to recover from this entire epidemic. Goose here in Toronto down 1%. It's trying to get back to positive territory, but hasn't got there yet. 30.70 up here is where we closed. If you're watching Canada Goose here in Toronto, looking like it might want to test that at least. Nice little consolidation forming here. Top end of the range. So we opened all the way down here, 29.80, up at around 30, 35, 30, 40. Watch this 30.70 area from yesterday afternoon for Canada Goose. The other one, yeah, JP Morgan got crushed yesterday to the downside. Another move down again today. We're at 91. Big time levels coming into play for JPM. 91 and then 90 below that. But they are trying here at 91, it looks like, to find a bit of a bottom for JPM. Still negative, unfortunately, across the board. Let's go back to Sean.
Okay, I put my mic a little bit higher, and I'm going to put my mic pack on the trading desk here. You know how trader life, you have to deal with mic problems as well. But shout out to the guys on the board. They're working as hard as they can to get that fixed. So hopefully our mics will stay on. But we are celebrating, of course, that nice little Tesla trade. And I can break this down for you guys as well. We're right back down here. We're long 742.70 still on this name, and we continue to go upside. We do stop down there, 748. Nice little trade there. Why did we get out of our Tesla at that spot? I'll show you why. It's pretty simple. This is just how I trade. Okay, Citigroup. We'll go back to Citigroup and we will start flossing this one off. So let's explode some money here. Citigroup, great little trade action here. Down to 43.15 now. We almost have a clean dollar winner on this one. So we're doing better now off that morning. We are coming back to the downside. I told you about maybe smashing 43.25 there. I see somebody was up 16 points. Eric, congratulations. Big trade there on Goldman Sachs for you. That's a great idea. Goldman's been a nice little trade today. Let's check in on Goldman quickly before we go back to Brendan, just because we're talking about it. Goldman Sachs 175, great little bottom there, 169. So the fact that you're up 16 points here when it's only moved 10 means you scalped quite nicely in there, Eric. Congratulations on that one. Maybe let me know what your trade plan was there on Goldman Sachs as we continue to fade down. We're going to wait at 43 even, see if we can't catch a clean dollar and catapult our net today here on Citigroup. What's up, Brendan?
AYTU, big mover from yesterday afternoon. They came out in the middle of the afternoon, it looks like around 2 o'clock. And got a big, huge pop to the upside up to about 165. FDA approved new hair growth treatment that they came out with. So a little bit of follow through here, but we are back below where we closed yesterday at 160 now. So worth a watch, I think. AYTU, 2.5% still to the upside. However, relative volume through the roof on this name once again today, Sean.
Okay, and we will do a dancing gorilla right here because we do take that clean dollar on Citigroup. Now we're very light. We have 10% of our position left on this name in Citigroup. A great little trade to the downside here, cashing in on that one as we go. We'll check back in our other position. Right now it's just we have Tesla long, we have TD Bank long, and where's my sleeping button? I don't know if we really have one here, but let's just wake everybody up with a cowbell anyways. Right now, TD Bank not doing much on the downside or the upside. It's really not doing anything, period, just hovering around. Here goes 44 even. Can we break, 43 even. We still are short up here on Citigroup. Let's check in on Bank of America. That's been another, some size here on Bank of America. Bank of America looking to break that same level, now back to the downside. Wow, down 6% on BAC. Okay, look at the market now giving up. Let's go back over to my favorite stock, Mr. Softy. Valeria just started trading, and this is her brand new favorite stock as well. So good luck on that one, Valeria. We can be twinsies on that one. What is this break here? 170.50 maybe, a decent level. Ooh, we're already getting close. Yeah, 170.40, maybe a decent break here. This is the VWAP 170.50 on Microsoft. This market is definitely giving up. Microsoft still staying strong though, but how long can it hold this for? Not sure. I actually like the long. Like, how is Microsoft right here going up when the market is crashing back down here? Microsoft relatively strong, bottom of 169. I actually like this to the long side here, guys. That's strange. Let me reanalyze this and make sure that I'm not crazy. But Brandon, what you got?
Another little teeny tiny one moving today. UAVS 200. Yeah, 260, 55% to the upside. It's been halted a couple of times here. They came out in the pre-market this morning and said they received a whole bunch of new orders. So they make drones for package deliveries. So a whole bunch of new orders for their drone product for hopefully package deliveries coming up in the near future. Back above $1 for UAVS, Sean.
Okay, good call on UABS there. Apple, okay. Wow, there goes Citigroup breaking through 44. Big time winner there for Citigroup. So we hit the air horn there. How's the mic, guys? I hope it's going okay for you right now. Okay, TD Bank, they're not doing well. We just took an average there as this market continues to fall. TD Bank average there. We'll get out if it breaks through 56 down here to the downside for sure. Tesla's now falling on its face. We're going to get out here 738.50. The market is just giving it all back. Again, we won't lose nearly as much as we made on this play, but we will wait to see here on this market downturn here. Tesla not in a good spot. 742. Maybe we'll get some out and just see if we can't break this trade even on Tesla. It's not really working for us out here, but we'll wait to see on that one. Tesla 744. If I can make a small winner on this, I think I will. The market, just a nice little move down here. Here goes Tesla right back to flat. So I may just dump this because I'm not liking the trade action here on today's market. Checking back in on Citigroup as well. That one's making a move to the downside there. I'm going to see if we can't get out. There we go. We cash out of our Tesla. It's been a big trade. We'll explode the money on that. Unfortunately, we get out right where we get in. I'm just not confident enough in that trade, and I apologize, but I'm not going to hold on to a stock that I do not like. This could go all the way to 750 right now. Look at the market coming down. It's too much risk for me. We're going to get out, capture all of our profits. That out is right where we got in, man. 742.55. You can see in here, out there. The reason why that's showing a short sell is because I did have an offer out. So unfortunately, I should have canceled that and that would have been all good. Here goes Citigroup, though. This is a monster winner. We're right back to where we were at the beginning of the day here. Let's see what happens. Before we get caught in Apple, I just want to give you guys an idea of what we're thinking. Breaking through 281 looks nice to me, guys. Here's the 281 spot right here. We get as low as 281.01 there. If we can break lower, then I like this short. Maybe we should wait for the ultimate short, though, which would be 280.30, but I don't mind it. Right here, 280.31. Valeria, give us something.
Hey guys, well, day trading is not an easy thing, and it should be a conscious decision to choose this path. Neil, Sean, and Brandon have a huge experience in day trading, so keep going. Ask them questions. If you're not sure or you need to improve your tradings, ask experts, and also you can ask me anything you want. Maybe I'll be able to help you too. And please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. If you watch us from Facebook, like and share our video. And good luck, everyone. I see you later.
Thank you, Valeria. Yeah, keep it going, guys. And like we said, normally, if it's your first time with us today, we are a relatively new show. It's tradertv.live. We're through Day Trade the World. We're using the P Pro 8 platform. We trade lots of different markets. We take your questions. Normally, it's me and my partner in crime. And actually, Neil and I know each other from high school, believe it or not. So we know each other. We're very comfortable trading with each other. Today, Neil's off today. He'll be back tomorrow. But we do have Brendan at the big screen with some trade ideas ideas here. Is this small cap recap time? Let's throw it over to Brendan right now at the big board for small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, a number of, we've been showing you small caps moving to the upside this morning in a big way. That UAVS, I wish I saw that one earlier on, gave you multiple opportunities on the long side. But let's jump into a couple that we did mention. If you joined us at 9 o'clock this morning, APDN, we were talking about how they sent their first batch of their version of a COVID-19 vaccine out for clinical trials. So that's the reason for this gigantic gap. We are still up 45%. This was a little bit tough. Did give you a little bit of a fake out at the open above the high. We mentioned that $8 even level came into play right away. Had to be really quick. I chased it a bit, got stopped out of the long. These things happen. Stopped out back below $8. So when you're taking a significant level break like that, so $8 obvious, resistance here in the pre-market. If you're trying the long on the second push through, you got to be really quick to be out of that trade if it does come back below. So we get back below in a hurry, out of the long, immediately get into the short versus that $8 even level, and that ends up working out nicely. Took most of this off in front of 7, holding a little teeny tiny piece. We're all the way down here at 650 now, so a nice short for APDN. I had to be quick on the long, but it did give you an opportunity on the long side right out of the gate this morning as well. That's not the right chart. I was going to show you OBLN. That was another one that we mentioned had a big move up yesterday in the aftermarket, was trying to get a little bit of a retracement back into some of the levels from the aftermarket yesterday. Never got there. It did give you a short opportunity, but had to be a little bit aggressive. That was OBLN, but there's that UAVS as well. Going to get back to the desk and have another look at that one. Let's go back to Sean.
Thank you, Brendan. Yeah, a lot of good names there and a big wave depending on what camera. Where is that camera? Where are we? Anyways, I'm over here. I'm at my desk. So, yeah, it's been a good day so far today. We're trying to hit not too many home runs here, but our biggest one is Citigroup, as now we continue to break the bottom of this, and we just continue to go downside right now. This is $1.40 in the money right now, so we'll floss this off for Citigroup. We can break this down. It's already at its day's low right now. 42.50 might be something. Let's look at a 10-minute chart, see where this was a couple days ago. We'll have to let it load up here. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to take off. You can customize and take off our executions just so we can have a better look at this chart right now. 42, what was this bottom? 40.90 on Citigroup. I don't think we get to there. 42.26 or so. Okay, so there's not too much here. If we only go back a couple days here on Citigroup, this is a nice little chart, down 6% here as we go. But Citigroup making moves for sure today, and we have the short. So that's been a good one for us today on Citigroup, just continuing to make the moves down. I think we'll probably capture a little bit of this profit. We are $1.40 now in the money on this one. If it gets back above 43, we'll take some off, but otherwise we'll let it run to the downside here. Maybe I'll park an order at this day's low, 42.60. See if we can't get out to some more of these Citigroup shares, as we're kind of light on that right now. TD Bank, we did average in at 10. We did talk about that one. Obviously, as the market falls, it doesn't matter which market you're in, whether or not you're in Canadian, US, UK, anything here. As the global markets fall, the S&P 500, obviously a big bellwether for that one. So we're going to put watch out for TD Bank breaking down below, as yuck, down 3% now. Let's check in on Microsoft quickly before we go over to Brendan. Microsoft, we noticed, was relatively strong, and it still is, man. It's holding these tops. If the S&P can go, guys, we have to hammer Microsoft to the long side. What's up, Brendan?
Apache to the downside. We were talking about oil earlier. Crude oil still down 3+% on the day. Have a look at Apache here. 11% on the day, coming back to 710. Did hold this 710 off the bat this morning. If that lets go, a long way to go still for APA. Big gap down this morning along with crude prices. But this entire group very, very weak so far, Sean.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I don't know if I like this play or not. We're going to see. Only time will tell. But look, if these futures can battle back, we're bouncing now nicely off 27.50. No surprise there. We also stopped at 27.80. So it's only a 30 handle range. It's not a crazy range today. It just feels like, all of the moves have been relatively dramatic one way. The market opens up right here and just ticks itself higher. The reason why I'm talking about this is because we just get in right now to Microsoft. We we go long, decent position, a decent amount of shares, long through 171 right now. So we're going to see if this one can go. I told you guys this was relatively strong, and here we go. So we'll take off some here, hopefully at 17 or 18. We're long right now 171.04. It gets as high as 20 there. Let's wait to see what Microsoft wants to do. Now we're back to flat on this one, but again, if these futures go, guys, I do like Softy to the long side here. It's been relatively strong considering what this market's done. Let's see if we can't hold this one for a little bit longer and see if we can't get out of some Microsoft. We're long 171.04 here, probably my biggest position yet of the day. Actually, Delta I think was off the open, which was fantastic. So we're going to wait to see if this one can run. Unfortunately, I'll have to get out if it breaks back down below here 170.30 or so, but I know this is going to be a sketchy trade. We already know that. It's been resisting this market move, so as the market falls, we're going to have to watch out for 27.50. Of course, when I get in, it reverses itself, so we're going to wait to see. Just try to hold strong here, Softy, and I'll try to be here with you as well. But this one now moving against us, as well as this TD Bank. Looks like it wants to break 57. Was sort of hoping we'd get a rebound here in the market. Doesn't really look like that right now. Our Citigroup is right here. You know, I got to cancel that Apple short now because I'm not going to go short Apple and hold long Microsoft. We're bouncing off this bottom here on Citigroup, so I think it's worth putting in order to get out here at this bottom into the 60s right now. Microsoft holding up relatively strong. Brendan, what you got, bud?
Another one we were talking about earlier, coming back to the upside a little bit here, $3 definite level on BIMI, still 16% to the upside, but yeah, market coming off a little bit more. This one still kind of holding up a little bit stronger if you like the little one. Sean?
Yeah, I do like the little ones, but right now we are looking at a big one here, and it's Mr. Softy. So 170.50 here coming through. I don't want it to break that 170.51. If that happens, that'll be hella terrible for me, but we're going to wait to see. We'll probably average in a little bit here. It's bounced around this area, so we do expect it. This is that 50 area that we're talking about. I do not need to see that one come through. That'll be horrible for me, but we are going to try to defend it through that area, 170.50 or so. So we're going to try to average in a little bit here on Microsoft. The reason why I like it, guys, the market's been falling, and you can see that. Microsoft, not really. It's been holding up relatively strong. It got as low as 169.50 off the open there, off this big crash down. Now we're trying to hold strong, but we are fading back in here. This is not a good spot for me right now on Microsoft, but hopefully it can hold up, and we'll try to average in a little bit, guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I know it's a lot of me today, and I apologize for that. Neil will hopefully be back tomorrow, and there'll be the two of us again trading this. I'm trying to keep the trades relatively specific. I only have 80 fills today. You guys know yesterday we were in the 200 mark, so it's been a little slow for me today, but we're trying to work the best positions we can, including a $1.50 winner right now on Citigroup. Microsoft, we're trying to massage just above 171. Hopefully that can come through. And our TD Bank is still just chilling out there. We'll review that in a bit, but right now we got Brendan again. What's up, bud?
TBLT, if anybody's wondering, TBLT, tough built here, up, yeah, it's not 880%, but 1 for 10 stock split announced this morning. So 15 cents yesterday. Hey, guess what? We're at 150 today for TBLT. Obviously not 800+% on the day, Sean.
I got you on that one. Okay, here goes Citigroup. I actually have a bid in the 70s here. I don't know if that's going to fill or not. I hope it actually doesn't. I hope the market rips up here and blows up. Okay, we just did take another average spot here on Citigroup or on Microsoft. I like it's bouncing around a lot. We've taken it along there at 69, and now our average price is a little bit better as we get back into the 90s here. Let's go Softy. We'll take off some shares. Okay, we're back to flat now on Microsoft. We did take some out. Look at this little average in, so we'll hit a floss for that average right now. We take some more shares long. Again, we took about a quarter more of our position down here at 170.69, and then we get those out at 96. So a nice little win on the top side there of Microsoft. Our average position now 97, so it's not great. But here comes the market just crashing down again. I can't get this stock to go, guys. We really want Microsoft to get above that 171. We almost almost got there before the futures took us for a ride again. Brendan, give us some good news.
I might have the reason why here. It's Wednesday, obviously, crude oil inventories just out. They were expecting another build here, 11.6 million. Tough to see, but 11.6 million, the expectation came out 19.25 million on the build side. So once again this week, about 3 or 4 weeks in a row, a much larger than expected build in crude prices. We saw earlier crude was already down more than 3% on the day. This is not going to help, unfortunately.
No, it is not. And oil is heading southbound right now. Okay, we just got some 96s. So we're back to flat and we're back in the money now. Decent spot here on our friend, Mr. Softy. Let's see, guys. All we need is these futures to go here. And I think Microsoft can go. Let's get above 27.60 right now on the ES. If we could do that, then I am liking this Microsoft long position. I really, really think we have a chance to go here. 171 and change, still moving to the top side. Our position right now, 170.96. Okay, to give you an idea, we did cash out and we're flat now. For some reason, I have 2 shares now of Citigroup, so we take that out there. Citigroup, nice little win for us. That's been a big movement. So no baseball. That's obviously sad for us all. We love our baseball. We love our Blue Jays here. The Blue Jays are probably going to win the World Series this year. Not, but they may have. Who knows? Here we go to the upside now. Finally, let's go, Softy. We talked about a recovery in the market. If Softy can go, we should be able to get some out. We're waiting at 17 here. That was my first position, if you guys remember. I got close to that. We'll see if we can't get out now. Hit me, hit me, hit me, Microsoft. Boom! There it is. A nice little win. We go swish, swish. Our day is turning around fast right now for us. We're loaded up. I told you this was my biggest position on Microsoft. Let's get going now to the top side. Microsoft running. Did we have Brendan, did I hear? No, that's okay. Scott Bradley, yeah, we do. Brendan, what's up?
Just a little one to mention here.
Boom!
That's some positive news in the free market. Back to the downside here. Just went red, in fact, on the day at 315 there. Also a note on Major League Baseball story yesterday saying that 10,000 MLB employees going to participate in a COVID-19 study and trial. So there was that as well. Sean.
Oh, good. That's nice to hear. Thank you, MLB players. What up, Vlad Guerrero Jr.? Gonna one day win MVP, probably, maybe. Following his father's footsteps. And Microsoft, we turn our frowns upside down. No more crying, although right now I might cry because it just dropped back down. Look at these outs. Bang, first in there. I told you this was my largest position of the day. So that's why we cashed some out up here. 171.40, 171.20, and now we're getting elevated to the upside on Softy. Let's keep the party rolling. Citigroup going to the top side as well. So things are happening now for us. Good little movement. What am I doing? I still have 2 shares of Citigroup. We're going to dump those out there. Sorry about that, guys. We are now flat on Citigroup. These are our only 2 positions. Let's call them up for you guys. We'll go back to camera 2 right now, if you can, Lucas. Here we go. 2 positions. Did I push start yet? No, I did not. Here come the positions on. I should probably get back to them. But it's Microsoft long right here, 170.94 off those averages. I'll talk about that in a second. And we do have TD Bank. That's going to be a problem. Canada not changing interest rates. We thought we'd take a shot here on TD. We're long 57.21 in Canada. Not a great spot there, but that's what we're working with right now, as we'll go back to Mr. Softy, as that's still running to the upside. Great little spots here. Shout out to everybody on chat. Someone said, Cosmin Haduk, love this guy. We love you too there. We're trying to do the best we can. I'm going to have a headache after this. A lot of talking going through the wires here. But look at this, guys. We also have Trader TV swag here. Put some notes down. If we decide to list some of these cool things. Look, you're not going to get this. This is our beat up coffee mug, but we have coffee mugs, Trader TV Live. Let me know in the chat, would you buy this water mug? I love these. I have one for my house. Valeria told me she's going to buy everything that goes for sale. So let us know if you would there on the chat. But right now, Microsoft to the top side. I'm going to take a sip here and calm down. But we do have Valeria hopefully soon. Hit those likes, hit those subscribes. Hey guys, we reached 6,000. Look, I can't even stop talking and take a sip of water. We reached 6,000 subscribers yesterday. Cheers to that. Cheers to everybody on that one as well. I saw we had 600 viewers today. That's another great one for us as well. Brendan, let me take a drink of water here, buddy.
Yeah, I got you. Sabre Corporation here, SABR, just popping off on a volume scanner. Just broke $6 even. This is $6 right here. We came down to that area late in the afternoon yesterday. No significant news on this, but breaking back above $6 here, looking mighty positive, not positive on the day, but some buying coming into SABR. Sean.
Yep. Okay, you guys want signed merch. That's fine. I'll sign it for you. No problem there. Neil, myself, Brendan, Valeria, we're going to do that. But yeah, we did. Look, it's been a big day for us so far today. I want to review this Microsoft trade. Remember, all of these green little arrows here are buys. So we buy here. I only have half my trade on right now, still left. And then we averaged into some shares down here, protecting this VWAP on the downside. So I do like it. If the futures can continue to rock and roll, I do think that we test, if not break, this intraday high of 171.57 for Microsoft as we go. So waiting for that to come through. We still have some sells upside here in 17, in the 20s, in the 30s, and so on and so forth. Our Citigroup, though, just got, oh, there it is. A nice little out once again. We'll floss it off. Microsoft, a nice little 40 penny winner right there. We just took it off. We're going to see if we get 50 pennies. Here we go. Coming to the high of the day now is Microsoft. We're getting elevated. Let's go. We need Microsoft to go. We need TD Bank to go. Let's go, go, go. We're ready for Valeria, and I'm going to cheer on Microsoft. Valeria, what you got for us?
Hey guys, do you follow us on social media? We are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. You can find us at tradertv.live. Go check it out after the show. And also, our show is done at 12 p.m. Eastern time, but the whole trading day is ahead. So I'll send you the links for guys' Twitter accounts. Follow them, and you'll still be able to communicate with them, see their charts, and they share a lot of interesting stuff there. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. Back to traders.
Yeah, back to traders is right. Thank you, Valeria, and thank you for everybody continuing to support us here. It's tough. The show is tough to do with a one-man band here, but thank God we have Brendan and Valeria. So keep those chats going, and thank you once again, guys. I did want to bring this up. We're getting a few questions here about the stocks and whatnot. I see that stock. You're asking Neil how we scan for stocks daily. Neil, you can handle that one, but we do have different scanners up. We look at volume. We look at earnings plays. We look at various things as well. But here at Day Trade the World, I hope you guys, yeah, it looks like you can see this, no problem. Amex yesterday. Every day we report our top traders by market. So this helps motivate different traders, gives you an idea of what we're looking at here as stocks continue to fly around worldwide. Amex here, NYSE American. There we go, guys. $38,000. Wow, I'm gonna, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna hit a fireworks there for this trader here. And I'm gonna do something else. We'll raise a Canadian flag because here's TSX down here. I don't wanna put it right in the middle. Yeah, let's take that off. TSX down there, $8 grand. NASDAQ and LSE, really nice to see. Maybe I'll join you, Mr. NASDAQ, if we get Softy to go here. No, I don't have on that many shares to make 30 grand on this trade. We do go screwing on the bottom. Again, great opportunity. Over 63 live markets here at Day Trade the World. So you have, like, where else can you trade on the same platform, NASDAQ, and then slide over and look at some stocks in Helsinki? If you know a platform like that, post it in the chat, but I dare you, you probably do not. Lisbon, Amsterdam. Look, NYSE, what's up with you guys yesterday? Little low on that one. TSX Venture, Dublin. We had some traders ask us, what about the Asian markets? Ding! Here we go, guys. Japan, Hong Kong, also being traded. The CME here. Wait, I got to go back to this market. What is happening now? Look at this. The S&P now breaks. We're going to test this 2750 level. And yeah, that means that we are in mucho trouble with our Microsoft position. This one continues to struggle for us a little bit. I would love to get back down here. I'm going to average in again, guys. I'm not afraid of averaging into this stock market right now. I think we're still in a little bit of a range. I hear you. We're going to throw to Brendan right now. What's up, Brendan?
Just watching Afria. We did have a bit of a bid at 87 there, 387. If you're watching the one in New York, just got cracked. You can see big volume spike coming in. So Afria did break that little pivot. If you're watching at 85 to 87, there was a buyer. No longer. Still moving to the downside for Afria, Sean.
So Brendan, it's Scott Bradley from the LSE today, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you saw that list there, the LSE doing nice numbers yesterday. So Scott Bradley coming up just after 11:40. We also have Adam Halpern from Halpern Wines coming up at 11:15. We're going to talk to him about maybe investing a little bit in wines and also some charitable work that they are doing over at Halpern Wines. So excited about that one as well.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find, putting a few people to work here. Maybe we can find a top stock on the LSE. And if you see anything, Brendan, there with some volume, I'll call it up on our level 2 and show people what the LSE looks like on the P Pro 8 platform. I think that's a great opportunity. I mean, I know a few names off the top of my head, but let's wait to see which the top volume ones are. And then we'll show those to you guys. Okay, here we go. Hallelujah. I guess we need some sort of a religious button here, because thank God, back from the dead comes the market. Look where we bounce. I told you guys 2750 was a possible bounce area. We do that. We bounce up 6 handles, and so does Softy. So let's take out, bang, some 30s out there. Hit the siren. Wake up, America, wherever you're from. Microsoft now going to the top of the day, and we can say thank you so much, because this is our biggest trade of the day. Microsoft continues to run northbound. We're just cashing these profits out. I was waiting, too greedy, to get more long down here in the 60s like we did before, but now Microsoft 170.87. We're now in the money, a smooth 50 pennies on Mr. Softy as we go, guys. But now, more trades going to the upside here. Let's check out on Apple quickly. I did like the short through 280.50. That never came through. I'm not going to go long Apple and Microsoft at the same time. I really don't believe in the market that much. Kind of crazy to go long 2 big stocks when the market's down 3%. So I am going to stay away from that. I'm going to come up. We're going to talk about our top LSE traded stock, if we can, guys. Profits, volume, whatever you want when we get back from Brendan. And this is a very important segment, one of my favorites. Let's take it over to Sector Watch, guys. It looks nasty.
Yeah, pretty negative, unfortunately, right across the board. Obviously, market moving to the downside. Let's figure out why. When it comes to the S&P 500, 2.8% now in negative territory. I want to point out industrials here and the energy group. These two groups making up the most of this move down so far today. HWM, FLS, WAB, and TXT. The 4 leaders here in the industrial group, all down more than 7%. HWM 0.75% to the downside. So pretty ugly day for the industrials. There's one little one right here who is positive on the day in the transportation group. Everything else very red. Had that oil number just out. Obviously a much bigger than expected build once again for crude oil stockpiles. That means that energy stocks here all in negative territory in a big way. All the usual suspects here. We showed you this one earlier. Apache now 12% to the downside. There's Noble Energy 14% to the downside. Oxy, HP, and FTI all more than 10% as well in the red. So industrials, energy stocks in negative territory. Material stocks, surprisingly, also in the red. Talked about some of the metal prices earlier, also moving to the downside. Consumer discretionary stocks among the leaders as well. Unfortunately, retailers here really getting hit today. L Brands almost 12% to the downside. There's Kohl's 8%. We have Gap, JWN as well, 9.7%. To the downside. So this group making up a big chunk of the negativity. Some of the cruise lines, we saw a big move up yesterday, back to the downside. There's Norwegian popping out 5.5% in negative territory. Banks are weak as well. Big day up yesterday for most of the banks. Not so much or today, rather, I should say. Not so much today. Back to the downside, CMA, CFG, and FITB. The 3 leaders in the banking sector, we have diversified financials and insurance companies, all very, very negative. Unfortunately, 2.6% now for the S&P 500. It is widespread selling today. Let's go back over to Sean.
It's widespread selling, except when we trade Microsoft, and it's a banger. It's a slap shot. Here we go. Microsoft, $1.10 in the money. I hope you guys followed me. We are two-thumbing this one because this guy mentioned to you that Softy was strong. It was relatively strong compared to everything else. We hammered this one. Market's not going green, but I'm throwing this board up anyways. It's been a big day. We punched this one in the face, and sometimes, guys, when I get these little ideas, ding. It is sometimes good to follow them, and I wish I would have followed my own advice a little bit more. But here goes Microsoft. We are long 170.74. It's at 170.90. So there we go. We turn our laugh to an evil one because here goes Microsoft. Let's take out some more shares at 88, 89. We're just going to enjoy this run to the top side right now. Microsoft for the win, baby. We are elevated back again. This has been a great stock. Screw this. Let's do some dancing, guys. Neil at home, get up, dance around. Hopefully, you know, that bang! We get out there 89s. It keeps going, guys. We loved Microsoft long. We just noticed when the market was crashing, you know, down 3%, Microsoft was not. We noticed it was resisting this downfall. We have VWAP. We believe so much in this trade that as the market's tanking, we take more. Bye-bye 172. So here we go. It's fireworks everywhere right now for us as this just keeps going, gone. Okay. Afria, okay, I don't know how I'm long Afria, 385 right here, but we are now long Afria. Take this long, 385, because of this bad wick, breaks us long. Now, we did not need this long. This is a long because of $4 break, but we want to get long in these weed names, so we do have Afria right here. And actually, you know what? I'm going to think about punching this one out. It's not really the trade that we wanted. Microsoft, guys, hello, Microsoft. $1.40 now in the money. $1.70 now in the money. Microsoft going upside now, guys. Wow, what a mover. We cannot say enough about this stock. Maybe I already have. I haven't. My headache is now worse now. I'm just talking. See ya, Microsoft. What a great job. And if you know where this guy's from, Pokeroo saying, wow, Sean, why don't you take more shares? I don't know, Pokeroo. Now, look, Neil, I miss you so much. I'm talking to fake animals. Hey, Valeria, how's it going? Nice to see you again. Okay, we're still going straight to the upside here. This market is blowing up. There's Afria. Hello. We're into the weed names again. You may think, hey, maybe Sean is smoking something, but I am not right now, guys, or ever. Let's just clear that up. Right now, we don't do drugs on the show, but Afria, a nice little 2-cent winner, and Softy to the moon. Did you guys call for Brendan before? I wasn't even sure. Brendan, let's throw to Brendan. What's up, buddy?
Just watching this UAVS, that little drone maker we were talking about earlier, back to $1. So got halted on the way through $1 here on a volatility halt. We got all the way up to almost 140. Big pullback to $1 even. If it's going to hold above $1 even, might be a good spot for that. UAVS still 230% on the day, Sean.
230%, yeah, that's about an average return there for stocks. Yeah, not, but okay. We're light on Microsoft. I'm going to thank Valeria. Thank you so much for the new coffee here. What a crazy day for us today, guys, here on the show. Welcome if you're joining us for the first time. I hope that was exciting for you as it was for me to trade that stock there. And Microsoft just takes off, guys. This is what we're talking about. I can't even take a sip of coffee. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, Microsoft, there goes. What am I doing here, guys? I don't know. This is like, I feel like it's just like a one-man carnival over here. But okay, as we're going, guys, it's just been a fantastic day. Microsoft still going to the top side here. We have TD Bank coming back from the dead a little bit. We like this one breaking through this level. The Bank of Canada today, of course, comes out with their interest rate announcement. They keep it steady, so they keep it at that 0.25. I thought that might accelerate banks because I was wondering if I knew they weren't going to go negative interest rates, but I did think that maybe they were going to cut to zero, but they keep it at 0.25 there as we're going. But that's my stock right here. And Afria bouncing around. We're long at 385. That's weed Batman style for you. So we take that long. Hopefully we get a little bit of a recovery back through $4 soon. If we break down below where we're long, 385, we'll just get out of that one and just assume that nothing is happening on that front. But Brendan, give us something else, bud.
Plantronics, another earnings name. They reported early on this morning. You can see huge spike here in the pre-market from 1225 all the way up to 1225 to 1460. Wow. We're back to 1360 here. Tight little consolidation. This one's been a wild ride. We opened actually around this area, got all the way back down to these levels from yesterday, now up 9.75%. Tight little consolidation. Watch this high here, 1370. If that goes, might get a nice little run into positive territory for PLT. Back over to Sean.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm just getting some out here. I've been cashing out of this Afria here at 88s and now 89s. It's a nice little 4 or 5 cent winner. And again, you know, look, this is the thing. When you're trading a $4 name, you just trade less shares. So, more shares, right? And so when you're taking 3, 4, 5 cents on a $4 name, it's still a decent return. So we are going to take some out here, 89s. That's a $4 name and a 4 cent return. So we'll take that 1% for now and still think we can get to $4. Valeria, what's up?
Hey guys, first of all, shout out to Neil. I hope you are doing great. But guys, we miss Neil very much, and Sean are doing a double job. Please support him, hit the thumbs up, and again, don't forget to subscribe for our channel. We are preparing a great educational series for you guys, so it's gonna come out soon. Stay tuned. Of course, give us more likes, and guys, write on the chat what will be the first thing you do when you come out of the quarantine. Personally, me, manicure. Back to guys.
Manicure, yeah, me too. I know Neil's first thing is probably to check out the Justin Bieber concerts. I'm pretty sure he'll do one, Neil, so don't worry. We have a big Scotiabank arena here. Look, maybe we can even get you front row seats to them at Skydome, Rogers Center, if he does ever play there. But okay, what I wanted to say was, guys, look, there's some comments there about getting spiced up here, getting the caffeine. It's actually, I've drank less coffee than normal. I really do think that you can't be doing this. This is my 18th year trading. I've had a lot of different hats with Day Trade the World and whatnot, but really this is the most fun that I've had, and I think that you guys can hopefully see that, and we continue to bring you guys big trades, big winners. Education is very important for Neil and myself. So we are, what camera are we on there? I don't know. Oh, hey guys. We are trying to come with you guys, teach you everything we can. Brendan's been a fantastic, obviously, addition to the show, besides great trading, also coming with the news, coming with certain segments like Money Talks that we're going to get thrown to in a couple seconds. But it's been a fantastic day here. Thank you to everybody for joining up. We love the markets. That's what makes Trader TV Live the best trading show around. This is not fake trading. This is real passion. Take it, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, it is currency time. Let's jump into some of the major pairs that we like to follow throughout the show. We had the Bank of Canada interest rate decision, obviously, that we told you about. So a little bit of negativity. I want to point that out right off the bat here for the CAD. Yeah, 1.25% to the downside so far for the Canadian dollar, back to 71 and change. We come over here, was talking about this yesterday. We did get above 72 cents very briefly yesterday. So a little bit of a downtick today, 1.25% for the CAD after the Bank of Canada left interest rates unchanged at 0.25%. Pretty remarkable to even say that. But yeah, 0.25% for the benchmark rate. The euro also lower today, 0.72% to the downside, back to 109 even for the euro. British pound following suit, 125, down about a full percent as well for the British pound. Japanese yen, Swiss franc, anytime you get the volatility increase in the overall market, you see these two typically kind of ticking higher. Not big moves today, but both the yen and the franc a little bit to the upside so far. Everything else kind of muted. We had big time negativity coming into the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar overnight. They had some economic data out overnight that was not good, obviously. So almost a full 2% move here for New Zealand, back below 60 cents. It did kind of retake that 60 cent level, but no longer. Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's been a very muted week for cryptocurrencies. We're used to seeing these things flying around 4, 5, 6%. Not so much this week. Only 2% today. 1 and change for Ethereum. They are lower, but 6,700 seems to be a little bit of a level for Bitcoin so far. Let's go back over to Sean.
It's funny, a little bit of a level for Bitcoin. So, okay, I did want to talk about, we do have Scott Bradley coming on, big, huge, heavy hitter from the LSE. Wait till you guys see this guy. Doesn't get much more professional than that. So we're going to wait to see on Scott Bradley coming through. I believe that's 11:20. Is that correct, Brendan? Yep, okay, good. Or Lucas, whoever wants to answer, that's good. Okay, NXT here, I just want to call up a London name, getting notes that this is the largest, most profitable stock right now for us here at Day Trade the World. So for today, this is NXT.lo. You're just going to see here, I think what makes some of these markets a little more profitable for traders like us is the fact that there's these spreads. So we have the ability to trade off kayaks, bats here, even turquoise. We have all of the access to all of these gateways. So when it comes to routing, when it comes to fee management here at Day Trade the World, we really have the ability to pick and choose any of these gateways, all of which, and I know it's hard to see, but they're all marked here on the time and sales. You can see L for the LSE, C for kayaks, B for bats. So there are a lot of opportunities here in this marketplace to take advantage of some of the spreads and some of the moves. And of course, we have full charting capabilities as well. So as you're going to see, this stock's been kind of probably a lot of money made on this move here before fading back down. But there's just a bunch of different names that we can trade today. TSCO, I know, is another big name for us here. A little bit of a cheaper. These are in pence. So this is like 23 cents sort of as it's traded. So another big stock for us. Look at the liquidity here. Very not easy to make money, but if you can catch some of these nice fills, then yeah, profitability will be yours. And that's what we're doing right here on the LSE. So there is a lot of options to trade here with Day Trade the World. And like I said before, we can throw up that first number. If you're just joining us again, here's the LSE because we're coming back. This is what we call top traders today by market. And it's from all of Day Trade the World. So you're going to see here yesterday, we had a trader over on the LSE make $35,000. We'll check back on this tomorrow. These are all in US dollars. So we're going to check back tomorrow to see where this trader was today, if he's able to make a similar kind of money. But again, you know, we trade opportunities here. It doesn't necessarily mean that day after day we'll have the same trades and the same profitable experiences, but it does mean, there comes Brendan back. So when I was talking to Brendan, he wasn't even here. So that was a good one. Thanks for answering that question though for me, guys. But what we're going to do here now is, by the way, guys, raise your hand, if you've noticed Microsoft $2.50 winner. So right now, guys, we are long 170.69 now on Microsoft. We could have just honestly, if I would have just held this trade from the beginning, all of these outs here when the market was kind of failing, if I just believed in this a little bit stronger, we could make that list today. This has been what a monster move. Microsoft, Brendan, maybe I know you're busy, but is there news or something on this? Microsoft just following the market but getting super aggressive. Microsoft almost back to flat now. If there was one thing that I could say today, guys, it was just noticing that we had a relatively strong name here in Microsoft, was not following the futures, and bang, we hit this to the top side. Softy, wowzers, was not expecting this. I wish I had more than 10% of my position on, guys. What's up, Brendan?
Just reading a story here. Yeah, there actually might be Pentagon probe unable to rule out White House influence on that Jedi contract. Yeah, so that just came out at 10:41 there. So a nice little move possibly for both of those names at this point as well. Wanted to point out one more thing here. J&J, guys, back to the downside. We got all the way back down to 143.50. 2 times it tested this 143.50 area, back to 145. For J&J, obviously a big mover from yesterday. Sean?
Okay, that's enough. The only thing was, guys, that Microsoft news, and again, damn it, I wish we sort of had that as it was happening, but good look there. We're undermanned today. It's a little busy, but that's a huge thing there. Microsoft, of course, was rewarded a contract there from the Pentagon, and I guess now, after upon review, some favorable news there, and Microsoft straight to the moon. Brendan, I think you said that, we don't need to go back to Brendan, but I think you said it was about 10:30 or so, and that would make 10:45? Yeah, so here you go. So 10:39, let's call this up here. There's 10:39 right now. Obviously, news gets leaked before, the common of us get it. So here we go, bang, bang, bang. Here's a big spike, Microsoft to the moon. I just got out some there. We're gonna hold this the rest of the day, but we're light on it right now. Microsoft for the win. What a huge monster that was. We're obviously gonna take in consideration that we did get a little bit lucky with that news, but also guys, the market has battled back. So was I expecting a $2.30 move on Softy? No, I was not, but look at this battle back here in the market. We talked about 27.50. We have Arun, was on earlier. He watched his futures levels, not earlier today, but earlier this week. What a level, 27.50. Great look there. So I apologize, guys. We should have had this stock longer and more shares. If I would have known about that Pentagon news, we probably would have punched longer on this 172 break, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. The person you really want to see is Valeria. What's up with our European update? Let's go.
Hello everyone, welcome to the European update. Well, Europe in 50 shades of red today. Britain is down 2.97%, Germany is down 3.51%, France is down 3.47%, while Spain down 3.36%. Russia is also down 5.11%. Some quick news from Europe. Well, German zoo may start to feed its animals to each other due to coronavirus outbreak. The postponed 2020 Tour de France will start in August 29th. Russian capital Moscow officials saying that capital might run out hospital beds in the following months. That's all for now, and I'll keep you updated. Back to Sean.
What was that story?
Yeah.
Tigers are being fed to themselves there?
Yeah, to each other.
Yeah, to each other. Wow. Okay, scary stuff there. Okay, yeah, but Tiger King. Oh yeah, here we go, guys. If you haven't watched anything, I'm not trying to pump Netflix here or anything, but where's the? Here we go. Tiger King. Thank you to our staff around here, apparently giving this to me. So here we go. Tiger King. Great little docuseries there. The #1 docuseries of all time. Kind of scary right now, but that's the fact. I just heard that yesterday. So if you haven't seen Tiger King yet, get on board. It's pretty interesting, pretty fun. That is for sure. Yeah, shout out to Neil doing a good job on the board there. Hopefully you guys are able to see some of his comments on some of the questions and some of the stocks there that I haven't been able to get to. And I apologize. It's been obviously a super busy day for me here today. And I think we'll be asking for a raise after the show. Okay, Afria there. Drops down below. We get out 384. We cashed in. Look, we just took small profits here on Afria. It's going to be a positive stock for us today. So we go Weed Batman. I only held 20% of this. We noticed it getting out 87. We dumped that now down through 84. We're staying away now from Afria probably forever. So not forever, but until we get back down to this level, 375. We'll look to see about a defense of that. Microsoft now pulling back in. We are so light. It's embarrassing. I still wish we had more. What's up, Brandon?
Big pop here on BGS Foods, guys. 3.5% move to the upside here. Just went from 17 all the way to 18. Going to double check the news on this, but big time volume coming in behind this as well. BGS in New York on the move. Sean.
BGS, yeah, let's have a look at that quickly. I was just looking at Microsoft here. I don't want this to drop too far down. It's been obviously a great play for us, but we are still now $2.30 in the money. You know what? Let's just do a quick little recap of what we have. If you're just joining us right now, they only have these two positions. We'll go to camera 2 here, guys. 170.69 is the long here on Softy, and we're debating dropping that if it breaks through 172.50. We'll take our $2 clean on this one if we can. And our TD Bank is ho-humming right now. That's, you can see .TC. I don't know if it shows it on there. Yeah, .TO. That means I'm trading in the Toronto market. So we do have access. Obviously, we've run through those profits. I'm trading New York today, NASDAQ, and the Toronto market. Let's go back to the board here, as TD has been the only one that's been giving me a little bit of problems here as we go, but it's been a super successful day. Let's check out oil. And unfortunately, guys, if you are a fan of some of these oil companies, you're not going to be a fan of what I'm about to show you here today. Oil now making moves down. I know Brendan did talk about this a little bit earlier. That's probably what's affecting TD Bank. am I not drifting over here? And getting in trouble again. $20 was the top. We've just come crashing back down. I don't know if you can see this is 2.8% down now on oil. It tried to rally back through 2025 here, did not, failed. Now we're at multiple lows here. If we call up a daily chart on oil, we'll throw this up for you guys so you can have a quick look. Look at this fall. It's nasty and ugly. Shout out to Jack Armstrong. Sick, wicked, and nasty. Actually, Chuck Swirsky, commentator for the NBA. Now Chicago Bulls, used to be Raptors. We are going to break down below 1925 here. We're making new lows. This is, maybe Brendan can find out for me, but this may be obviously it's multi-year lows. I don't remember the last time we broke through 20. I know Brendan did have a story on that earlier. So, wow, all the way down. CL, crude, now making moves, light sweet there, as what we're talking about down to the bottom. So that brings me to my XOM discussion, and we're at $39 right here. So XOM at 39, looking like, yeah, it's not going to be enjoying this ride to the downside. We are looking at a break right now of 39.64. That could be something that we talk about here on a break to the downside. 39.65, I think we'll take it. I did see some comments on Oxy. That's been sort of a good one here to trade lately. We do love trading Oxy. When you see it down 11, 12%, that means SSR. So what SSR means is short sale restricted. So you do have a little bit of a chance here to go short on a stock, but you can only take it off the offer right there. Yeah, there it is. There's my cup. There we go. Some Trader TV. Yeah, show those there. Good little look there, Rob. Good job there, buddy. Yeah, you can see my screens here. Everything going on. Hey, guys. Hey, what's up? Yeah, good work on that today. I have Twitter open to see some of the latest news stories. Plus, we're looking to rock and roll here on this. I do like Oxy, obviously breaking down below this 1310. What's up, Brendan?
BGS, guys, just wanted to update 3.5% still for this thing to the upside. Just got rejected hard up there at 1830. Not seeing news on this. There's obviously some sort of news story yet, but nothing out as of yet. But 17 now, all the way up to above 1830 for BGS on huge volume. That crude oil, Sean, it was 18-year lows for CL. So yeah, destruction of energy stocks along with the crude market today. Yeah, that's too bad, but it is what it is, I guess. Crude oil there, OPEC, they reached that deal to cut, what was it, Trump and Iran, I guess OPEC plus there, the deal to cut a certain amount of barrels. I think it was 9.7 million barrels, but here we go. We are now into XOM short, already in the money. What we were, just went to 61. We're short here, 64. VWAP all the way up here at $40. I'm not sure. I don't want to hold these things for too long. Oil could bounce at any time. It could also tank at any time. What we mean by tank, of course, is to head southbound. So we won't count our chickens before they hatch, but XOM right now, a nice little 3-penny winner. I trade everything, man. You see me crushing Softy, we get crushed on TD Bank as that falls down. But now we'll wait on XOM back into the oil game right now. 18-year lows. So yikes on that one. That's when I started trading. Oil was back down here, which is kind of good. Just bought a big SUV, so that's not good for the environment, but good for gas prices right here. So 39.60 heading to the downside here. We're going to see if we can't capture some XOM profits as we look to keep going southbound on these names here. But XOM, a good little one here to go south side with. Let's call up a daily chart on this just to have a quick look on what XOM's doing. We touch as high as 44. Oh yeah, we had Kevin O'Leary on the show from Shark Tank. Kevin O'Leary, a good friend of the show. He's been on twice. We're going to have him back a third time. He was calling XOM down here, 33, 34. As a nice little rebound play. Obviously, he was right there. We did see the news coming in those markets, but can it come back down to 30? I think it can relatively easily right now. Not too many levels that are going to give me out or in on this trade, but we are going to see if oil and XOM can't retest down here. I think we have a chance, not at 38 today, but definitely in the next couple days. Shout out there. I know that's kind of cheesy, but shout out to Kevin O'Leary, who had a lot of great things to say. Check out our Twitter feed for that and Instagram, whatever. Here comes XOM, 57s. Okay, we're 10 cents in the money on this one. Good idea on XOM shorting, guys. Brendan, what you got, bud? Another one, Macy's moving back to the downside. Obviously, retailer under pressure, but ever since this thing got moved to the S&P 600 mid-cap group, it has been showing some strength. We had 2 days to the downside. Now, third day, we're back below 590 for Macy's. I really like, if I zoom in here a little bit, really like the way this is looking a bit. Nice tight consolidation below 575. Watch 575 for Macy's for further downside. Sean.
Yeah, I get a little excited because bang, there it goes. You can go to the gates of hell, XOM. Look at these calls. This has been a fantastic little run for me right now. Very happy with the profits that we're throwing down right now. Knock on wood, of course, about that one. But right now, look at XOM, guys. We'll zoom in really closely here. Again, anybody wondering what these arrows mean? A down-ticking purple arrow is a short sell. So we borrow the stock, we sell it to some sucker at $39.64, and now we start covering it. Some at 57, some at 54, some at 51. Now we're going to break through $39.50. This is a 14 penny winner. So let's line up the cash. Where's my, okay, first of all, we'll throw it around first, and then we will line this up because right now it's raining down money. Feel like a banker here. Raining these in here. Sorry about anybody caught long on these names, but right here, XOM to the downside. You're going to see oil continuing its march south side here. So I'm kind of trading these things together. So as I see oil come down, bye-bye XOM. Now a 20 penny winner. So bang, confetti that one. XOM now at 18-year lows. Let's keep going south side. Big time winner. Take it for you. We turn bearish on the oil market and bang, hammer out a winner for you guys. So far, guys, right now, 2 positions on. It's the Microsoft hella long. This has been a great trade for me here. When I hella long, we're long at 170, guys. 170.69, $2.50 winner. Our XOM is a 17 penny winner, about to be 20, and we have decent amount of shares on this one. That's why we're getting excited. Brendan, let's go.
MRKR, another little one moving around here. We were watching this one yesterday, had a big time reversal up here at 240, 245. Still keeping my eye on it. You can see big volume spike just came in on MRKR back to 230. They came out yesterday saying they have a blood purification treatment that has been successful in trials for COVID-19 treatment. So going to keep my eye on this one. Gave you a nice opportunity on the short side yesterday for MRKR. Sean.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Modern investors there. I know you're following me on Twitter as well. Thanks for all those, encouraging looks there. You may hear my throat starting to get a little bit sore here. Those of you that thought you could trade and talk and comment and do everything for 3 straight hours, I thought I could do it, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. So thank you to Brendan, Valeria, and our team here today for all of this work that you guys are doing. And look at XOM. I almost can't even get too excited anymore. It's going up in smoke. The profits are with us. Yes, Luis there. Good job, guys. Getting out there, guys. XOM, you're with me on XOM. Kaboom if you are. This is a big 20+ cent winner now, guys. Going. This has been a fantastic day today for anybody that's trading with me. We have a $2.50 winner here on Microsoft. We have a 17, well, depends where you're going to get out, but 21, 22 penny winner or so on XOM now as well. We do have Scott Bradley coming from the LSE, so that should be really important for anybody over there across the pond. Get well, everybody, and stick with us because it's been such an exciting day today. And I see, thank you to Neil on the chat talking about some of those little smaller cap stocks here. It's impossible for me. I crush those stocks as well, but it's just impossible for me to look at all of those plus these big cap names plus put on real risk. So it's just I'm staying away from some of those smaller names. Neil will be back tomorrow and we'll look at those names for sure. But I traded APDN this morning. That was my biggest and one of my only losers today was APDN, but that was a great little call on the short side. I didn't have time to get shortable shares on that one, but APDN for the win on the short side, guys. Hit the like button, hit everything. I'm going to throw it back to Brendan quickly because I need to take a drink.
We're just getting set up for Adam Halpern going to stop by in a few minutes here to talk a little bit about some charitable work they're doing here in Toronto at Halpern Wines with United Health Network. So give me a couple minutes. We're going to set things up on the technology side, and we're going to have Adam joining us in a few minutes here, Sean.
Okay, yeah, and maybe from today's profits, you can buy some wines. Yeah, Adam going to be talking all about some of the different wines that are available on the vintage side. And also, I heard a little bit of the interview when we prepped for it yesterday. We're going to be talking a little bit about as an asset class. So I think that's very important there. A lot of people investing in wines. There's some really amazing vintages and some amazing bottles that you could pick up right now that will be good for 5 years, 10 years, something like that. We'll ask Adam all about that one, and Brendan's got you covered. All about wine coming up in the next couple minutes. So if you're interested in that, hallelujah, because right now, XOM, we're down here, guys. This is 24 pennies now into the money. We're short 39.64. It's at 39.40. Big time winner here on XOM today. So really, really great shout here. Shout out to everybody. Rasmus, thank you for the support. Everybody, Modern Investors, Konstantinos there, Walmart popping. I see that. I love Walmart. Another one of my key holdings. Popping a little bit, not overly. We still are negative though, but another strong stock relative to the market performance. Walmart, if you check out a daily chart on this one, thanks for bringing it up there. Sherry, good look there on Walmart. Look at this, guys. It comes from $100 just about a month ago, all the way up another 30%. Walmart popping all over the place. Great little stock to trade there if you are interested in the retail names. Bye-bye XOM, guys. Still going down to the downside here. 25-cent winner. We're short 39.64 on Walmart. That's 25 cents in the money. And our Microsoft trade is $2.50 in the money. But now it's finally time for a little bit of a break, and we'll throw over to Adam with a very important guest, guys. Throw it over to Brendan with Adam.
Yeah, one of those. I mean, either one works. But yeah, very happy, guys, to have Adam Halpern joining us from Halpern Wines to talk a little bit about some charitable work that they are doing with the United Health Network that I mentioned a couple of times. And Adam, welcome to the show. Great to have you on this morning. Very excited and happy to be able to announce that tradertv.live donating $2,000 to the cause that we're going to get to here in a few minutes, the Distancing Club. So we'll talk about that coming up, and UHN. But wanted to give you an opportunity to give us a little intro to yourself and also to Halpern Wines.
Thanks for having me on the show today. I'm third generation in my family's business, Halpern Wine. We have been fine wine importers and distributors in Canada since the early 1950s. So it's been great. I work alongside my father and my uncle. And of course, we do quite a bit of charity work with the University Health Network, and it's just a great cause and obviously difficult times.
Yeah. So when you mention importing of wine, obviously you're dealing with restaurants, you're dealing with specific buyers, not necessarily the LCBO, or is it tied to the LCBO as well?
Well, it's especially in Canada or Ontario, for example. Yes, it's 100% tied with the LCBO. We consider them a partner of ours, and we do direct to consumer, especially in times like now where people don't really want to go to the LCBO or what have you. That's 100% a part of our business. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's jump into some of the charitable work that you guys are doing. The Distancing Club with United Health Network, obviously a very trying time for everyone around the entire world, not to mention right here in our own city in Toronto and the GTA. Tell us a little bit about the Distancing Club.
Yeah, so the Distancing Club is an initiative some people came up with at UHN, and basically it's to remind people we're home for the most part, we're safe, we're healthy, and we have a lot of people on the front line protecting us, saving many lives, and doing their jobs that many people find difficulty doing. So this new initiative is basically allowing us to have more money to buy more PPE, more personal protective equipment for our frontline workers. And in doing so, if you do donate, you can either direct message on Instagram or send an email to the Social Distancing Club, and then you can then send a bracelet to someone on the front line or a family member or a friend. Just hopefully it's a bright spot for someone in their day. And it's been a really fun initiative and started only a couple weeks ago, but already has done quite well. Yeah,
it's obviously a very important topic, very important subject. I read a story actually this morning, today, saying that the supplies in the GTA are set to run out as soon as 8 days from now. So obviously a huge need when it comes to personal protection equipment and face masks. If anyone is able to get their hands on N97 masks or whatever it is as far as personal protection, can they or are they able to actually donate the equipment itself?
Yes, and it just so happens, given our contacts, and especially in Ontario, anyone who has the ability to do so, they can contact us. I can give you guys our email. You can email, and we can be putting you guys in touch with the
go ahead
for the hospital.
For sure, yeah, go ahead. Let's get that email out to everyone so we can get some people contacting you. Is there also, we'll touch on the website as well for donation, but if you want to go ahead with those.
Yeah, well, for the, if you have any personal protective equipment, you can even email myself, adam@healthandwine.com. I'd be more than happy and extremely grateful for anything that anyone has that we can give to the hospital and to our frontline workers that, as you mentioned, are in dire need of. In terms of the website for donating to the Distancing Club, it's support.tgwhf.ca/go/the Distancing Club. And I'm sure if we could get a link on somewhere, or you could just visit the Distancing Club on Instagram, and there's more information and more ability for you guys to obviously send those bracelets and donate. Yeah,
we will absolutely grab that address for you and send it out to everyone at the end of the show as well, and get it on screen as well, Adam. But congratulations, obviously, to you and everyone on your side working on this great cause. Very important, obviously, at this point as things continue to, not be good all around the globe when it comes to this outbreak. Let's maybe shift gears a little bit. Talk about some investing side of things when it comes to wine. Tell us wine as an asset. How can people get involved? If they know nothing about investing in wine, where would they go first?
Well, I always like to think that people that are interested in investing into wine like wine and appreciate it, whether they're drinking it or what have you. So, that's number one. If you don't appreciate drinking it, I don't know if it's the best, consideration, because sometimes, almost like a stock, it could go south. When you're picking and choosing the best of the best in wine, it doesn't tend to do so. But if it does, you also want to enjoy and be able to drink these wines. People saw in the 1982 vintage in Bordeaux, Robert Parker from the Wine Advocate was the one who was writing up, and that really created that big steamroll of hype behind the Bordeaux and obviously the 82 vintage. So when you're looking at wine as an asset class, I always like to consider a few things. Obviously, vintage is important, and then region, and within region you have the brands. So it all depends on where you want to go with it. If you're looking to drink for good value, 82 is one of the greatest vintages ever made in Bordeaux, but those prices are exponential. Yet you can go and look at later 80s and have something for great quality and great price. So it all depends on how you're looking at it. It's an asset class in drinking or just assets.
You made a good point there in mentioning the fact that it is, you can almost treat it like a stock. Prices can go up, but they also can go down. From both sides of that equation, what are some of the characteristics maybe that could make a wine go down in value?
Simply demand diminishing. One really interesting in wine is that supply tends to always be lower than demand. It's a finite amount of space. You look at Burgundy, we're speaking, you have a certain amount of acres to make this wine. It's not like you can buy another acre and create this, this addition. So for example, here I have a bottle of Dujac Clos Saint-Denis 2015. Clos Saint-Denis is a vineyard in Burgundy in France. There's a finite amount of space. You can't just say the next plot, the next piece of land over is also Clos Saint-Denis. That doesn't happen. So something like that wine retails for $300 to $400 Canadian dollars, yet it trades for $1,200 to $1,500 right when you get it. Obviously, acquiring these wines, you can't just, it's not like if you're a wine collector or you want shares in an IPO, you can't just simply go out and get them. You usually have to get on a list. So it's learning your buying, and that's why I say drinking is quite important, because you want to have some wines that you can buy and drink and consume, and then get your name up on those lists to get those allocations. You
made a good point to me. We spoke yesterday briefly talking about how some of these wines, when there's such high demand, you're almost buying years out from when the actual harvest takes place. Talk a little bit about the time frame when it comes to maybe planning for an investment. So if you're looking for something now that could be an investment down the road, what kind of time frame do you work on?
Well, in Bordeaux they call it the En Premier program, and that's usually you're buying 2 to 3 years in advance of actually receiving the physical product. So, you can consider, okay, the 2018 vintage, which was released, over a year ago for En Premier, but you aren't going to get it for 2 years. So you have to look at, once again, you're looking at the vintage and considering all aspects, because wine, they pick the wine, then this has to go through all the vinification and aging processes and barrels and such. This doesn't happen overnight. Wine is a very sensitive and delicate product, and it takes time. So for example, right now we are releasing 2017s into the market, physical stock. So for example, Burgundy, which is one of the greatest investment vehicles in all of wine right now, that's what we're releasing now. So we're 3 years always behind in terms of actually releasing physical product. And the one quick point I wanted to make was wine is very delicate. It's agriculture. So weather does play a huge impact in terms of wine spiking. You can't really predict that, in 2016 when there was hailstorms in Burgundy, that because the crop was knocked out, the price of wine stayed the same, but the market, flew because it's simple supply and demand.
Is there one or two characteristics, maybe, Adam, that you can tell us when it comes to, the value of a wine that increases over time that, maybe another wine doesn't have? And I mean more in the sense of, when we're looking at the stock market, when we're looking at investments even in stocks, we kind of look at what has happened in the past. Is it the same thing in the wine business where you can kind of look at what happened in the past, maybe with a specific year, and then project forward what that winemaker might be worth?
Well, I would say, number one, that it's hard to project with the vintage. Vintage by vintage, you could say, this is a great vintage, the 19 might not be as good as 20. You can't really project that. That's difficult, and as I said, that's weather. I can't play God. But, for example, I have another bottle with me from Domaine Armand Rousseau. And this is, if you talk about projections, you look at, the top brands in Burgundy or in Bordeaux that you want to follow and stick with. As you create that collection, that's a huge thing. And obviously there's wine raters who will give scores, and if you get 100 points, the wine is immediately worth more. So obviously you want to focus on that sometimes. But with that being said, wine is very subjective. As amazing as a wine rater is, and a wine critic can taste 1,000 different wines and tell you each point and what they rate it, at the end of the day, I really do believe you have to enjoy it as well.
On a percentage basis, maybe when you look at that number system, everybody's used to walking into the LCBO or wherever you buy your wine and seeing those numbers, ranking numbers on bottles. On a percentage basis, how much does that actually affect the value of a wine?
I would say it's a small percentage. For the most part, once you hit 100 points, or I'd like to think 98 plus points for someone on Wine Advocate or Vinous Media, it does impact the wine price. We've seen it in the market. It is what it is, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Personally, I tend to not use the rating scale and the reviews a lot in my purchasing and my family's purchasing. With that being said, Wine Spectator every year puts out their top 100 wines of the year, and the top five wines right away are sold out, and you can't find them, and they're already worth more money.
Wow, that's an amazing number. You showed a couple there, but maybe let's run back over those bottles. Everybody watching obviously wants to see, the investment opportunity in wine. So talk us through maybe what they were worth and what as you said, they could be sold for now.
Yeah. So here's one bottle. This is Domaine Armand Rousseau Clos de la Roche. It's a Grand Cru Red Burgundy. This is the 16 vintage. So 16 vintage, as I quickly alluded to, is a short vintage. So we would retail this for, when we sold it, for anywhere from $300 to $350 Canadian, and now it's trading for in the upper, just under $1,000, or maybe a little more than $1,000 US. And then the other bottle I brought on was the 2015 Clos de la Roche from Domaine Dujac, Clos Saint Denis, which retail for $350 and trades for over $1,000 US. So as you learn your wine and the region. So as I said, I stick to Burgundy, Bordeaux, and especially some Italian, Spanish, depending on California. We like to look at everything and consider it all, but you then are able to create more buying power to get on those lists and those IPO lists, and those, if you want a Rolex Hulk, you can't just buy a Rolex Hulk, you need to buy 5 other things first. So it goes across, whether it's a stock, a watch, anything.
That's amazing. I mean, great returns, obviously, on just those couple of bottles. When it comes to shelf life for a product like that, if you're buying something that's worth, as you said, $1,000 US per bottle, what kind of time frame can we look at before it might start to drop in value, or is it something that you can just continue to age?
Well, white is a lot more sensitive than red, of course, but for these two wines I brought on, I kind of teased it, I guess. These wines will last a lifetime. There really isn't an expiration date on it. Wine is sensitive, so I could have this bottle that I paid $300 that's worth over $1,000, and it might not be good when I open it if I decide to open it, or if I decide to sell it, the person who purchased it in the secondary market down the road, it might not be good. But that is the risk. And the one cool thing about wine is it's a depleting asset in the sense of, if they made 1,000 bottles, someone probably is going to open 1, 2, 3, 100, 200, 300 bottles. So as time goes on, there's less available of these wines. So prices actually still continue to go up for the most part, for the more hard to get product.
And it's a great point you make. I mean, there's obviously certain qualities in certain wines. I mean, I think everyone's probably had the experience where they go into the closet, they pull out the bottle of wine they've been aging for 10 plus years, and they open it and it's pretty vinegary when you go to actually drink it. So great to know. I'm going to bring in Sean here. He has a question for you.
Sure.
Hey Adam, thank you so much. As me and all of our 600 viewers here salivating over some of these discussions here. But I just really want to give you a quick question here. You talked about appreciating the wine, and obviously, if you don't appreciate the drink and everything about it, then this is maybe not for you. Obviously, this is for you. What is the most expensive bottle that you ever opened yourself? What was it? And did you feel any maybe regret after opening it, thinking that maybe you popped it too early or anything like that? Just for some information for me and the viewers.
My family has been collecting wine for over 50 years. Our collection is quite large at this point, and given our visibility in the community, in the wine world, we know and have the ability to taste a lot of cool wines. I think my most interesting / worst experience and one of the most expensive experiences was at my father's 50th birthday party. We opened a 3-liter bottle of 1947 Cheval Blanc, which is known as one of the single greatest wines ever made.
Unbelievable.
And unfortunately, it was corked.
Oh.
I saw tears, and at that time, I wasn't really old enough to I tried it, but I wasn't old enough to appreciate what this really meant financially or what the quality really should have been. But now looking back at it, one of the single greatest bottles, probably impossible to find now.
Jeez.
It could be now worth, I don't know, a couple $100,000 at this point. It's sad we had to pour it down the drain, but I still have that empty bottle sitting at my parents' home.
Adam, so it just goes to show that basically, no matter how well you care of a bottle, I mean, you got to take well care of the bottle, but is there anything that someone could maybe, if they are about to maybe purchase a decent bottle of wine, is there anything that can sort of tip you off that maybe the wine is corked before you open it, or is that something that you're really just flipping a coin on?
It's not a coin flip. Rather, you're hopefully, if you're buying something like this, the provenance, and provenance meaning where it's from and where it's been. So if you're buying something of that great value, you're hopefully going to know it's been stored correctly, it's been purchased from someone, and if anyone's seen Sour Grapes or many of the other different documentaries on wine, there are many counterfeit bottles. So you want to make sure that your source is 100% reliable and you know where you're getting it from. We could have sold that 1947 3-liter and the level of the wine was great and everything looked perfect, but unfortunately it was corked. You really can't tell until you open the bottle.
Great, thank you for that very much. What a great segment, and we'll invite you back here. I'll throw you back to Brendan, but we'd love to have you in and do a little bit of tasting when this all settles down. Thank you so much, Adam.
Love to, thank you.
Great stuff. Yeah, just my personal opinion here. I mean, there's tons of information floating around about California cult wines. I'll just throw a name at you. Give me your opinion on something like a Screaming Eagle.
Yeah, well, Screaming Eagle was one of the leaders. Them, Harlan, the leaders in the California cult wine space. It's been unbelievable for California. It actually really put California on the map. And now we've seen, the California wine industry grow exponentially since then. I wanted to quickly mention before we hop off is that our website, helpernwine.com, is live. You're able to go visit. It's a full e-commerce platform. We deliver direct contactless delivery to your door, and free delivery in the Greater Toronto area. And obviously we have couriers for outside, but feel free to visit helpernwine.com. Hopefully we can fill everyone's alcohol and wine needs when need be.
And just in case anyone's wondering, you guys are still delivering throughout everything that is going on right now.
We are contactless in the sense of our logistics team is wearing gloves and masks, sterilizing anything that is necessary to sterilize. And upon delivery, they leave it at your door, take pictures. There's no contact with our delivery guys. So we're taking every proper precaution to make deliveries as safe as possible.
Great stuff. Adam, give us the contact information for the Distancing Club one more time.
So it's the Distancing Club at gmail.com is the email. There's the Distancing Club Instagram account. And lastly, of course, the website, support.tgwhf.ca/go/the Distancing Club. So any donations, first of all, thank you guys so much for your donation, your contribution. It will make the difference, and we all need to help each other right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our pleasure. Once again, Trader TV Live donating $2,000 towards the cause. Adam Halpern from Halpern Wines, a pleasure, sir. Hope we can do this maybe live at some point in the near future.
Absolutely. Be safe, and thank you guys for having me.
You too. All the best. There you go, guys.
Sure.
Adam Halpern from Halpern Wines telling you a little bit of investing advice when it comes to the wine industry. Sean, I learned a lot there. How about you?
Yeah, always. I mean, that was a great conversation there. Yeah, great conversation there. And thank you, Adam. And a great cause. And again, it's nice to see Trader TV giving back again another $2,000 along with the $1,500 a week that we're doing to Flemington Food Bank as well. So check that out. We're all over social media. You can check out some of that if you'd missed it. Rewind the tape on YouTube after the show's done, and you'll be able to see some of that information to get a hold of Adam and the Social Distancing Club there. What a great name, first of all. So that's great. And yeah, support everything, and let's keep going on the show now. We are getting ready, of course, once again. Brendan doing great work here with everything, and we're going to have Scott Bradley coming through soon with the LSE, so that should be something pretty cool to talk about there. If you guys missed it before, I'll throw up once again our profits from yesterday, and I just keep showing it because we have different people logging in all the time. Yesterday, Amex, top trader in the firm, $38,000. These are all US dollars. LSE right here, $35,000. So a good day there. NASDAQ followed by Canada, Zitra, Helsinki, and Paris. So Paris, I was in Paris a couple years ago. Beautiful city, needless to say. Let me know if you guys have been in Paris and what you think. Fantastic. I was supposed to go on a trip with the wife this summer, but I guess that's been pushed back. Needless to say. I see some talks there from Eric about Tesla. Great job there, taking 60 points out of this thing today. Absolutely fantastic. I took $4. I took 4 points off of it. We've only traded it once. This was my Tesla trade right here, long at 742 and quickly out. We actually captured a great little movement here on Tesla before getting out. And this is why we got out for flat, because we don't have to absorb. We were never in the money if I don't get out right here, all the way back down here, touching 718 again on that little market break. But now we're back to 728 and change. So I'm going to go long if we can break through that 728. That's what we're looking at right now. That's been a good one. I also see some talk there on Oxy, and Oxy's been a great trade for most of you guys as well. There's a little bit of a fail breakdown right here at 1310. Neil noting some of the volume coming in there on that, but it does break down to 1305. So depending on the shares you have, you may have been stopped out, but if you're able to hold it and you took a break maybe of 13.15 long, that's a great one, up to 25 there. I was actually waiting when I saw this fail, trying to get short. Now it's at 21. I'm going to wait a little bit, but if we can get back to 13.25, I'll be a short seller of that, as the market does once again, guys, as we were on break there, break down to 27.50 before popping back up another 20 handles. So that's back-to-back rejections of 27.50. Look out below if we do break that one, Brendan.
Another one to look at here, guys. Vermilion Energy, VET in New York, down 18% today. Obviously, this entire group under pressure, but if you're looking for a smaller price one, doing all kinds of volume, relative volume through the roof on this name, VET.NY, sitting right here, right now as I speak at 350, looking like it might want to break further to the downside. They also said this morning they're discontinuing for the time being their dividend. So VET in big time trouble. Sean.
Yeah, VET, we'll look at that again. And then there's that Oxy, guys, like we just talked about it. This is actually, in my opinion, a better trade. Shorting 13.25 there. And again, I tried. I put my orders here, but did not get filled. 13. I didn't want to get too aggressive with it, should have. But yeah, 13.25 down here on Oxy. Would have been a nice little movement position for you. I think we're getting right back to that breakout point now of 13.16. Watch out below, short the shit out of it, or short the stock here at 13.10 if it does break. Oops. Okay, over to Valeria now for In Focus, guys.
Hey guys, welcome to In Focus. Quick news updates in case you've missed. According to White House, Donald Trump is going to hold a video conference with G7 leaders on Thursday to talk about national response to the coronavirus outbreak. Apple shipped 2.5 million iPhones in March, a nice rebound after the worst month in the country. In general, smartphone companies are now hoping for a strong recovery as coronavirus starting to ease in China. According to Main Street America survey, nearly 7.5 million small businesses might close their permanently in the following months if coronavirus outbreak will continue. And sorry guys, one slide is missing, but Johnson & Johnson announced that they're going to produce from 600 to 900 million doses of its potential coronavirus vaccine in the end of first quarter of 2021 if human trials will start in September as it was supposed to. That's all for today. Stay healthy and stay in focus. Back to guys.
We just took Apple. Thank you, Valeria, for that. Apple breaks down below its recent low here. I mean, I think we should be able to be back down here on Apple, especially with this market failing. So we'll take an Apple short, relatively light here at 283. So we'll take that on that 283 break to the downside. Here goes Apple. And again, this means we've borrowed the stock. So there's been some questions about what's going on with these arrows. And here goes Apple to the downside now. We are short 282.97 here on Apple. So we'll wait to see. Look, we're pretty light. I'm going to give this one, honestly, all the way back up to 284. I'm not going to play this game of bouncing back and around with these futures. I really think that if we do come back down the south side, we were down here before, down that 3%. I think we can break 2750, man, to the downside if we come on Apple. We'll be down there as well. So let's just wait to see what's going to happen now as we go short 283 now on Apple. It never really goes in the money for us, but that's the current position on that short. I'll probably average in a little bit here in this chop zone, 283.50 or so, if I can. Maybe start the average in right now and then use this kind of a top here, 283 and change as I look over at a few different charts that I have now to see what we're talking about here. Yeah, 283.50, a good little spot for a break there, but we're going to wait to see what happens. One other stock that's at all-time highs, I believe, or it's at least relatively recently, Netflix, 427 and change. Nothing is stopping this game. Obviously, the streaming game is huge right now. Disney getting a little bit of wind from this as well, but Netflix up 3.5% today. Hello, Netflix. Look at the daily chart here on this stock as it just looks spicy. 300 bottom, bang, 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 straight to the top side. Look at some of these candles, guys. 369 in one day to 400. Yesterday, 400 to 415. Today, 409, 430. What a big run for Netflix as we pull it back down. I'm not sure. I think this is probably all-time high. I thought we kind of broke it right here. And you can see what happened. Yeah, there it is right there. This 390. Oh, maybe we're up here back in September of 2018, 430. We're going to check on that one if this is exactly these all-time highs. But Netflix just keeps rocking and rolling. And on a daily look here for Netflix,
again, we're kind of in this area. I believe the futures want to come down here, and I'm not going to short Netflix today, guys, but I just want to bring it to your attention. If the market does want to get down here to 27.50, you may want to pick some Netflix up at 425 and change. That looks like a strong look right there. Our XOM trade, still in the money. Great shorting opportunity back here at 40. We're still short rate here, back down to 56 as oil coming back down. Let's check out our Oxy call as well. I know. Boom, we called this one, guys. I told you this 325 was great. And look, if you're following Neil on this break, I hope you made some money, because it's now way against you guys on this one at 1305. We gave you that. My order does go out, of course. Neil mentioned that it was short sale restricted. We crossed the market 3 or 4 pennies on that 1310 break and didn't get anything. So I'm going to cancel it now. Would have loved to get 09s or 08s so we could cash out. But right now, we are now not going to take Oxy as it's down 12+% and still crashing. Our Apple is now crashing as well. So bang on that one. Hit the air horn. Wake up, guys. I apologize for my throat. Right now it's a little hard to keep going, but here goes Apple. Car crash in the market. Nice little 30 penny winner. But to go on those LSE record, I don't know if it was a record profit. We had one trader yesterday make $36,000 in the LSE, and now once again lined up near the end of our show. Thank you to all the viewers today. We have a great guest on tap for you right now. Brendan with Scott Bradley from the LSE. Let's throw it over and get this started.
All right, yeah, we are back. Very happy to have our good friend Scott Bradley from the LSE, head of sales and global business development for the LSE, back with us for the first time in a month or so. It's been a while. Scott joining us obviously remotely, as everyone continuing with social distancing and working remotely for the most part. It's been a trying time for the markets, to say the least. We've had volatility across global markets, lots to get to when it comes to obviously volumes, record volumes for the LSE. We've had record volumes for North American markets. Let's bring Scott in right now. Great to see you, first of all, and speak to you, Scott. I hope you and yours are all doing well in this crazy time that we're all dealing with.
Thank you. It's great to join you. Yeah, very well. Thank you very much, and I hope likewise.
Yeah, no, we're continuing on here. We obviously separated everyone to different corners of the room, so the show must go on, as they say. Scott, we do something here on the show every single day, and that is show the profits from Day Trade the World from the prior day. For the first time in a while, as far as I can remember, the LSE popping up to number 2 on that list as far as profits from this country, or this company rather, yesterday. Let's talk a little bit about, first of all, obviously extreme volatility, not only here in North America, but in Europe and the UK as well. Tell us how the month has been, the past few weeks at least, as far as the volatility goes and record volumes that you're seeing on the LSE.
Yeah, absolutely. So wow, what a few months it has certainly been. First of all, lit continuous markets have reversed what's been a 2-year decline in value or volumes traded, really. So market share. So market share declines that we've seen from the lit continuous that I've talked about in the past, moving to alternative venues. We've seen that reverse slightly. So if you look at 2019 lit continuous numbers in Europe, we're talking about 28 billion euros of activity on an average daily value traded basis. Now, if we look at Q1 in 2020, then that jumps from about 28 billion to just over 41 billion euros of activity on the lit continuous markets. Now, if you look at March specifically, that jumps to about 58 billion euros traded on a daily basis. So that's quite a significant increase in both absolute value traded, but also relative value traded versus the other venues. What we have seen is that increase, that flight to the lit continuous, the flight to the primary markets. LSE, for example, London Stock Exchange, is in March, I think, recorded something like about an average of about 80% of the share traded in UK securities. Q1, it's averaging at about 78%. So that flight back to the lit continuous trading has been primarily at the expense of OTC and SI liquidity. Now, I've talked a lot in the past about SIs coming in, both bank and proprietary ELP, electronic liquidity provider, SI, coming into the European landscape and providing liquidity at the expense of on venue quite often activity. Now that trend has reversed in Q1. We've seen dark activity on an absolute basis increase significantly. If you look at dark block trading, particularly sort of midpoint dark block trading, turquoise Plato block discovery being a good example of that as the leader, that has seen approximately a 1 billion increase in activity month on month since December. So we're talking about 5.5–6% share of the market and about 6 billion euros of activity happening in the dark block venues on a daily basis. Now that jumped to almost 7 billion in March. So we've seen in relative terms, probably not as much of a shift as people would have thought, but definitely that increase in lit activity at the expense of the SI and OTC. Now, when you look at a couple of the areas on the LSE market that I often flag up, the ETP space and the international order book, ETPs have had a fantastic Q1 on London Stock Exchange. I think if my numbers are correct, somewhere in the region of a 150% increase in turnover in Q1 versus 2019. If you look at the international order book, the world's largest DR, Global Depository Receipt program, that is also up over 100% in terms of turnover versus 2019. Now remember that IOB is where the Russian securities in particular are heavily traded, oil and gas securities, which is no surprise there's a lot of activity in those taking place. But if you look at the ETP market, quite often some of the most heavily traded ETPs in London are actually the S&P 500 or the FTSE 100 ETF. Now what we've actually seen, if you look at today, for example, CRUD, LN, is the ETP that tracks the WTI. It's a Wisdom Tree ETP which tracks the WTI crude oil index. Now that is our most heavily traded ETP on the London Stock Exchange today, and I think yesterday as well. So if you combine the fact with in London, you've got obviously BP, you've got Royal Dutch, big oil gas securities. It's no surprise that we're seeing that kind of increased activity during the certain times of or times of uncertainty that we've had. Now you mentioned volatility. If you think back to mid-March when the volatility really kicked in, we saw that increased volatility through the end of February into March. But the week of the 9th to the 16th of March in particular stands out as being where we saw the real significant sell-off globally by the quant funds. And I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Morgan Stanley's quant prime brokerage team put out a note talking about that big quant sell-off and that degrossing or deleveraging of funds taking place that drove a lot of that increased activity in Europe and globally. Now, what we saw in London was we saw huge trade volumes in terms of activity, but we also saw a decrease in the the trade size. So whilst the number of trades increased, and we saw our record ever day, I think it was March the 12th, if I'm correct, 2.9 million trades happened on March the 12th, beating the previous record, which was in June 2016, which was the day of the referendum for Brexit, which was 2.7 million. Now, the referendum date in June 16 traded about 14 to 15 billion pounds notional, but March the 12th traded somewhere like 10.5 billion pounds notional. So whilst we saw March had over 45 million trades take place, which was gazumping the previous record of 25 million trades for a month, we didn't see any notional records. So the size of the trading is decreasing, but the number of trades increasing, which ties in with the type of activity and volatility that we've seen.
Scott, I'll jump in here real quick. Obviously, lots of data there, lots of information to kind of digest. You mentioned the oil ETF there briefly. Is that something that has been a trend that you're seeing? Obviously, we had a huge move down in crude markets. We continue to see, 18-year lows again today for crude oil prices. Has that been a trend over that time? And if so, are there individual names outside of, the funds that are moving as well?
Well, I mean, I can't, as you know, I can't really talk about individual stocks too much. Maybe what I would say is we often find outside of the S&P 500 and the FTSE 100 ETF, the ISF iShare, we do see a lot of activity in the ETPs, including physical gold. Now, physical gold, I think today was our second most actively traded ETP product on the market. So yes, during the increased volatility that we see in the marketplace, we do see people trading a lot of on-exchange, on-book activity in the likes of physical gold, in crude. So it's not just the index trackers that we see that activity. I think it's obviously those volumes, they are nothing compared to what you see in North America, but that is over 11% of the LSE's total activity now taking place in the ETP market. Now that's not insignificant. That's reaching towards that 700 million pounds a day of activity. I think Q1 was averaging somewhere around 670 million pounds. So it's not insignificant, and that trend is only growing.
On the way back up, we've obviously had, the move down that you mentioned, increased volatility, crazy moves in the markets in general. But on this kind of, rebound that we're seeing overall in equity markets, volatility has come in a little bit. Have those numbers started to decrease at all? And I mean, only back to a point where, we can call it somewhat normal, or is it still very heightened?
Yeah, so really the end of February into March and then to the beginning of April, we saw that heightened activity. You're absolutely right. I think things are starting to calm down a bit. I think that's a lot to do as well with, in the broader market, the BCP, the resiliency planning that people have put in place has meant that teams are now able to focus business as usual, and the volatility has calmed down to a certain degree. That's certainly something we're seeing. Now, in the dark block trading, we saw March an absolute belter of a month in terms of records and the liquidity that we saw coming through our dark books on turquoise. That has also decreased in the marketplace, along with the values and the volumes we're seeing on the primary exchange too. One thing I would like to point out, and just maybe mention, is something around that resiliency and maintaining an orderly and robust marketplace. I think across Europe we've seen a number of measures take effect to help maintain those orderly markets. Now, if we go back to March and in mid-March, we saw the circuit breaker mechanisms that the London Stock Exchange employs, which are on a security by security basis. They kicked in on a significant number of occasions, but helped maintain that orderly market and kept the market open for investors. So we feel very, very comfortable with the lot of work, a lot of planning that's gone into place in order to facilitate that ongoing market infrastructure. And whilst the market now starts to move to business as usual activity, and we look at new initiatives and projects going forward with our clients, I think we're starting to see a settling in the marketplace.
Yeah, and it's good to see finally. I mean, we've had circuit breakers, as you mentioned. We've had volatility halts. It's been a crazy few weeks, as you've been mentioning. Great information as always, Scott. All the best in the near future. I hope we can speak again soon, and stay well for the time being.
Thank you. Likewise.
There you go, guys. Scott Bradley, Head of Sales and Global Business Development from the LSE. Number 2 on our profit list yesterday here at Day Trade the World. So nice to see other markets outside of North America popping up on that list. Let's go back over to Sean.
Yeah, great job, Brendan, on the double interview today. So that was a good one, giving us all a little bit of a break. But yeah, this market, now I think we're like in a little bit of a sleepy zone, if you want to ask me what we're doing right now. The market, it's just midday. You can see here it's 12 o'clock. The show's almost done. Hopefully Neil will be back with us tomorrow. But here's the ES. This is what we're talking about. 2770 bounce. Now we're back into that little zone. Look, guys, I mean, I'll draw these little ellipses where, this is where we're stuck. Then we're stuck again here. Now we're stuck here. Stuck. Whoops. And stuck again. So, I mean, it's not the typical market that we are used to. We do get some breaks of this. This is why we're waiting for this 2750 to break, in my opinion, or we got to get above this 2775. So we're just stuck in sleepy time right now in the market, and it's been break. This is why it's really good, guys, to trade different asset classes, and we talk about that on the show, especially when we're looking at oil. I wanted to ask anybody, I asked them in the chat there, did anybody get that break that I gave to you guys here at 1310? I tried it and missed it there. It did, actually, now that I was watching the interview, but it did give that opportunity to get short again at 1310 and then breaking down through 13. So I hope you guys were able to get that as well. The position I have on right now is just a ho-hummer once again. So we go short Apple. Look at this. Average. Cash. So right now, Apple, we're nicely in the money on this Apple short, 283.20 or so on that one. So a good little short there on Apple. We just cashed them out 97. We're running that stock as well. We're also running XOM. We still have this short, 39.64. That's 15 cents in the money. So although the fun keeps going, hey, Robert, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for that. We like that one. We'll hit some... Where's the fireworks? Let's explode some money. Thank you for that tip there, donation to the show. We are doing the show free, so we do appreciate that. Robert Brown, thanks for all you do in one day. To you as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I know you're following me on Twitter and now again here. Good. I hope you had some of these trades with us today, including this Apple and XOM trade. It's been a water bottle type of day for me. I think I've had 4 or 5 of these. We're doing great. Thank you to the whole crew today, and we'll throw it back to Brendan now.
Yeah, a couple minutes to go here. We're going to wrap things up for the day. It's been a very busy day. Obviously, the market's still kind of grinding here, as Sean was saying. Before we get out of here, we want to have a look at what's coming up as far as earnings after market tonight and also before the open tomorrow. A few things on here that could be decent as far as trades go tomorrow. Bed Bath & Beyond is usually one that gives you a trade around earnings. We have some more from the financial space as well. BNY Mellon down there. Also, Abbott Labs, Sean, another one that can give you a trade around earnings as well.
Is that? I guess that is Abbott. I actually didn't know that was Abbott Labs logo there. I think they could do better with that logo, guys. Abbott Labs there, good little look there. You know, they were the ones, obviously, Brendan, thanks for bringing that up with those tests that were going out in the United States was going to purchase 50 or 1,000 or so of those. I think they're trying to do 50,000 a day in testing or something. So we'll see what Abbott comes with it. Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm super excited about that. I hate the retail space. I've crushed it before. And look at Apple. Bang, we get slowly going, but we alley-oop the market as we are crashing down now. Guys, we're short Apple, 40 pennies in the money now. So even though it's sleepy time, it is dancing gorilla time because Apple, we just captured. Look at this, short guys, short, out. Whenever you have these purple ticks above your green ticks, that is mucho profitability. So what's up, Valeria?
Dear viewers, our show is really very close to the end, though we are live every day for you from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So don't forget to subscribe for our channel and you get notifications when we are back on air. Thank you very much for all of your supports, for all of your likes, all of your comments and questions. Hopefully we are being helpful and entertaining. Sean is doing a great job today, double job, double trading. So support with likes, and also one of our viewers sent a super chat to Sean, so thank you very much, Robert Brown. We really support, we're really thankful for your support. And guys, as usual, I'm saying what national day is today, and today is very yummy day, National Glazed Ham Day. Do you like ham, guys? Do you like glazed ham?
I'm sort of wishy-washy on ham myself. I mean, I do like it. I prefer the bacon format, but I don't mind ham. I mean, it was Easter, obviously a big time for ham there. Your opinions on ham, Brendan?
You get those little, I forget what they're called. I can't think of the name, but they put the little spices in the top with the pineapple sauce on top.
Oh, I like the pineapple sauce.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
yes,
it's good.
yes,
Absolutely,
yes,
it's good.
Yeah.
Listen, we are
there, Brendan.
past 12 o'clock already, so let's wrap this thing up for today. Big shout out to you, Sean, for carrying the load today. I know it was a lot, but
never again.
We'll be back and better tomorrow. Wherever you are today, have a safe afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from tradertv.live. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
All right, we did it.